Is Benevidez the Goods? I wonder. Let's turn to. Is Benevidez the Goods? Is he the answer to Canelo? That's a good question. We may never know or find out that answer because for some reason, the story that they want to tell of Canelo don't include any competition, like no real competition anyway. But I'm sure it's going to be explained like it was. They want this man to be on the top. They want him on the top so bad, it's an all-out, all-hands on deck affair. You got sanctioning bodies caking for him. You got refs caking for him. You got judges caking for him. Now, granted, Canelo is a good fighter. And the refs don't have to get too involved. But we definitely know that the judges do. Because he got to be their white and shiny armor. Their knight, their white prince. He has to be. Now, I know we talk about Whitey Garcia, and I'm not going off on a tangent. And Canelo is not white. But he is the white prince. He is the white knight and shiny armor for them. Demetrius is in the building. Was popping, King. He says, salute Queen T and the fam. Salute to you. That's the narrative that they want to push. They want Canelo to ride off into the sunset, like comparatively to all the great boxers, like he was the Don. He was the creme de la creme. He was the top. This is the story that they want to push. And this is why I asked, is Benevidez the Goods? It was a good weekend of boxing. And I'm sure you guys watch. Some of you probably watched the rematch of Canelo and Caleb Plant. And we all know if Caleb, in my opinion, if Caleb had some power behind most of what he was doing, I think he would have won easily. But Caleb wasn't just fighting Canelo. He was fighting the T. He was fighting the judges. And if the ref need be, he would have been fighting him too. Demetrius Bright said, you now have a bunch of new media pretty much jocking Canelo while hating on Benevidez. Yeah. But first, I want to get to this water. I'm at 11. This is 11. And I'm going to finish this probably before the end of my show. Y'all see that? I apologize for all this. I don't, look, some days it work. And some days it don't. Like all this gray and this discoloration. Hey, I'm futuristic. But the water, I'm at 11. This will be 11. So this will be 88 ounces. I'm sure I can knock down 2 more before I turn in. As I told everybody on my show yesterday, I can't hang. I can't hang no more. Not for a while anyway, because I have goals that I want to reach. And I can't do it not getting the proper amount of sleep. Plus, I be having things to do during the day. So I need to take my butt to bed. But I will watch my favorite shows the next morning or whenever I got time that next day. Demetrius Bright said you doing it only 51 ounces. What you mean you doing it only 51 ounces? I'm trying to reach 100 ounces a day. Or you doing it, comma, and you have 51 ounces. I got you, King. But that's the water check. And we also are not on dairy. No dairy. No dairy. That means no cheese. No dairy. And we included eggs. No chicken. I mean, no meat. I'm sorry. Belay my last. Because y'all said no chicken. Belay my last. No meat. We allow chicken, turkey, and tuna fish. That's the only meat we doing. If you're doing the slow walking. And we took out bread this weekend. It's a very slow walk. But I'm trying to take out the known culprits of why, people have issues. So bread is one of them. Today, for some reason, as I said, this gray, this futuristic look right here. I don't know why it's like that. PGH, big dog in the building. Salute Queen. Benevidez needs to get Canelo next. It's looking like he might not get him, PGH. Henley in the building was popping, King. He said, good evening, Miss T, and the chat. Now, let's talk about that fight this weekend. And I'll tie it into Canelo from my perspective. That was a good little scrap. I'm going to just say that. Overall, because it was just 2 fights, which I thought it was going to be more fights on that card, but it was just 2 fights. But, hold up. To make sure we in a good mood, because I kind of messed up. I need to play it in the beginning. Y'all hold on 1 second. And while y'all holding, I'm going to be adjusting this thing if I can. Hold up. So when I change my picture, the internet doesn't work. So I'm testing some things out. But I'm finally here. So I just want to testify, make it crystal clear. See, I've been picked out to be picked on. Talked about out my friend's mouth. I've been beat down till he turned my life around. Seems like I always fall short of being worthy. I ain't good enough, but he still loves me. I ain't no superstar, spotlight ain't shining on me. I ain't good enough, but he still loves me. Love me.
I used to wake up some days and wish I stayed asleep.
Now there's a world
on top of the world.
Now the world's on top of me.
Now everybody's got opinions.
Thanks,
They ain't been in my position. That it breaks my heart when I hear what they have to say about me.
What they say about you?
I always fall short of being worthy. Lord, I ain't worthy. 'Cause I ain't good enough. But you still love me, Lord. I ain't no
Spotlight
on me.
I
If you ain't worthy, just raise your hands and let me know that you understand that we are all so blessed to be loved.
Yeah, that looks a little bit. Oh man, there you go again. Anyway, I tried, y'all. I tried to fix it. As we was listening to the dude from OJ's. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. And Beyonce. That's one of my favorite gospel songs for real. Um, from that movie, Fighting the Temptation. So, okay, yeah, I'm not sure what happens with the screen, but y'all bear with me. Anyway, back to the fights that happened this weekend. It's a good scrap overall. Overall, it was a good scrap. However, comma. I watched the press conference. I watched the weigh-ins. Jose Benevidez, what to say about him? Remember I told y'all, in the previous video, he was fishing, fidgety around. Something looked off about him. By that night, he looked better in his face. It could have been somebody had mentioned maybe he was weight drained. And that could be true, because the press conference, he looked weird as hell. But by that night, I guess he hydrated and he he didn't have that darkness in his eyes or whatever. He looked regular. So he suck. He suck as a oh my God, he suck. At this point, I'm gonna say he suck. But what I will say, he hits hard. He hits hard. Let me pull up these phone lines because that shit was crazy. He talked a lot of crap. And then it was time to get in the ring. He was like, dude, I'm going to hurt you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm talking breaking ribs. You remember all that crap he was talking? And I'm talking about Jose Benevidez, y'all. Y'all remember all that crap? He gets up in the ring. Suck big time. I didn't like his boxing at all. And if Coach G was here, Coach G would say he don't like him. He probably already said it. Because Coach G about the sweet science, the actual boxing of it all. Jose was terrible. My phone lines are open. Jose was awful. It was the worst performance I have ever seen. Or, in a while. Like, to me, how about y'all? How y'all feel about it? My phone lines are open. 706-804-4449. Demetrius Bright said that 3 years off made him a different fighter. He needs more training. He needs something. He needs some help. I was sitting there like, I'm at a front row seat to some bullshit. He was terrible. One, he didn't let his hands go enough for me. Two, he was looking like a punching bag, taking the punches, trying to show us, or like that's a badge of honor that you could take a punch. No, that's a badge of stupidity that he was taking punches for nothing. And three, squaring up. But it seemed to be the David Benevidez motto of they like to square up. And I'm going to say when people fight like that, Virgil Ortiz do that. There's a couple of other fighters that square up all the time, but they young. So youth is on their side. Demetrius Bright said, Baumgarten, the real truth, Mayor Serrano and Kate Taylor on notice. Indeed. PGH Big Dog said, Jose lost that fight. He got a hometown gift. I agree with you, PGH. I was like, are you serious? And the dude actually thought that he won. He got an early Christmas present. It was terrible. I was like, throw a punch. Why are you square? I mean, he was squared the whole fight. It kind of says something about his opponent because I thought the Argentinian men were tough. Because, they say like they always they always like to push that narrative that people out of Argentina, all of them, some Lucas Mestize, Marcos Maidana type people. But to be honest, they only probably picking those who imitate or resemble those fighters in their fighting style or how they are as far as power punchers. There's probably a whole lot of other boxers in Argentina that won't get a chance and won't be seen. Not here, because the ones that they like is those hard punching, heavy punchers or whatever. This dude was a little different. I forgot his name, but he seemed to box and be in touch with the hit and don't get hit or move around, box, whatever. Demetrius Bright said, to be honest, he truly lost the fight. Even the fans booed him and cheered for the other guy. He know he did. But it just made him look stupid talking all that crap at the press conference. That guy was like, I ain't bit more worried about what this man talking about. We gonna see when we get in the ring. And again, the anger for the guy, for his opponent, came out of nowhere. Cause I was like, what is you angry about? Why are you mad at this guy? You barely know him. You better be lucky he gave you a fight. But that's what was going on. Demetrius Bright said that dude had some skills and good chin. He was sticking to Jose. Yeah, he definitely had to have a good chin. Because I will give Jose this. He was the aggressive one. He was the one who had more harder punches. He was more effective in his power punch than the other guy. The other guy kind of remind me of Caleb Plant. If I'm looking at that fight, I'm thinking Canelo and Caleb Plant, but I'm not giving Jose the Canelo jacket. I'm just saying it remind me. If he remind me of Canelo in any way, he'd remind me of a broken down piece of Canelo, like a broke down version of Canelo. Because he was throwing hard, he was sure his punches. Dude was catching them so many times, and you could tell it bothered him. He had a nose issue, in my opinion. He had a nose issue. I was watching him. It's like every time he got hit in the nose, he just, all this bullshit. And I'm like, okay, dude, then cover up, turn to the side, do something fundamentally needed or required. Like, why are you squared up? And that hit in the nose was there for that guy all night, in the face. And then you saw he had a little mouse or bubble on the side of his eye at the end of the fight. But he, like I said, that whole thing to me was a joke. And them giving him that fight, this shit like that is what's wrong with boxing too. You should be able to go and fight anywhere, especially in the States. I cannot speak to how another country do whatever they do, but you should be able to go anywhere and fight and have a good fight and have a fair fight. You should. It's ideally, to have that. But you got people in the boxing world that's messing that up. You got sanctioning bodies that's crossing the line. Like, y'all know how I feel about the WBC. It's at this point with them, I don't want to watch another fight they put on. I feel like that. But then that's going to X me out of watching some of my favorite fighters. So I have to make a choice, right? I have to make a choice. And sometimes I feel like all the boxers should band together, all of them, and just boycott the WBC belt. Or boycott, I hate to even say it, certain fighters. It's not every WBC champion, but it is definitely certain fighters. And I'm going to name them. Canelo Alvarez. Every person that has a potential fight with Canelo should boycott him. But that's probably going to be something that never happens. Why? Because he is sweepstakes. It's, he's a lottery ticket. If you fight him, you will become a millionaire. I can't tell a person like that's hard for a person to overlook that and be like, on principle. Because once you become a millionaire, maybe you thinking you could carve out your career the way you want to, and you can live comfortably, and that's all that matters. And it might be. That's a hard pill to swallow, to walk away from opportunities like that. But is it really opportunities, or you're being used to further their bullshit? And there's a reason why I bring up Canelo and the sanctioning bodies, well, mainly the WBC, because do we want to play in their reindeer game? Do we want to? Is it necessary? Their sweepstakes is that important? Are they the only game in town to make money from? But I guarantee you, if every fighter boycotted fighting Canelo just on principle, just be like, no, I'm not fighting him. But then the WBC would turn around and let's say you hold that title, or they'll drop you in the rankings, or they'll take your title some kind of way if you have one. And Canelo showed the interest. So, like, for some reason, he really want to fight Bivol. And I know that Bivol and Benevidez are tough. They tough cookies. But he got his mindset on this dude. So maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe Bivol, I don't know the man, and I don't know this to be a fact. But maybe, I'm speculating, maybe Bivol is down with the payola. Don't know. Because these guys are supposed to be really, really tough. Canelo is not that special. If he was special, he wouldn't have to cheat. PGA Big Dog said boxing is too crooked. WBC is a criminal enterprise. Facts. And that's what make me sad about this weekend, is the criminality of the WBC. Because for the most part, Canelo will never, ever get a challenge at his belts. Now, y'all know I don't like the Charlos, but he deserves a shot at Canelo. Canelo ain't gonna give it to him. Benevidez definitely deserves a shot. Canelo ain't gonna give it to him. And Mauricio Sulaiman ain't gonna make him. I caught a little bit of BFTB's show, just a little bit, and it was shocking what I heard. I mean, he broke that shit down lovely. He actually said that Mauricio Sulaiman is the problem in boxing. And I agree. I mean, how many times we got to see this man make special provisions for one person? And they just going to raise their hand up like he's God's gift. He's a piece of shit. I hate to say that about you, Canelo. You might be a good guy outside of boxing, but you are a fucking horrible person in boxing. I blame Canelo, though. That's the difference. BFTB said he blames Mauricio Sulaiman, and I do too, but I also blame Canelo because he complicit. I blame him like I blame the judges who be complying with the bullshit, or the refs who complies with the bullshit. They all are conspiracists, and conspirators, and they're complying with the narrative of pushing the Mexican at the forefront instead of earning it the proper way. Now here you have David Benevidez. Now, is it me? Or now he could have always been like that. But when I first got turned on to David Benevidez, I wasn't I didn't see too much waving of the Mexican flag and being all big and all that. It looked like he had two flags on his shoulder when he came into the ring. I'm assuming this one was Ecuadorian and one was Mexico, and he had them tied together. But that could be fluff. That could be what he's doing to try to cater to some of the fans. Because as long as he's Mexican, Everybody's buying into this shit like they're the populace when it comes to boxing. Boxing is every person's sport. You can be white, black, yellow, purple, whatever. A lot of people like boxing. It ain't just Mexicans. But that's what they want to tell us. I refuse to believe that Mexicans are the majority reason why boxing is still alive, because they patronize it more than anybody else. I refuse to believe that. But I see that there is definitely some kind of conspiracy to elevate Mexican fighters and make them dominant at least for a couple of years or something, and it's sickening because David Benevidez put on a show this weekend. But let me finish with his brother. His brother need to have several seats. Like somebody mentioned, go back and get some training in or something. You were horrible, dude. You talked a lot of crap and you look crazy now. Because the dude was dismissive of you the whole time. And he had good ass reason to be dismissive of you. PGA's Big Dog said, what the fuck? Floyd versus Julio Chavez Sr. Stop the BS. Are they saying that that's going to go down? That's crazy. Floyd going to wax him. And he going to get him back for Roger. Chavez Sr. is too old and been through too much. He done had that sugar for a long time. I'm sure he clean now, but he done had a lifetime of use. Floyd never has, and that's you're right. It's BS. Stop the BS. But if they gonna go for it, they go for it. I like watching Floyd too. I mean, it'd be interesting. But if it's on Showtime this time around, I probably have the will to go ahead and wait for it to be free. Like that Canelo fight, y'all. For those of my casuals that be in here, shout outs to my Facebookers. You guys can always come into YouTube. You guys smash the like button while you're in here. So you could make the argument that like I'll wait till it come on for free. But Showtime been being tricky now. Showtime used to show the whole card, but now they don't. But Canelo card, nobody was that much interested in. But they used to show the whole entire card the next week. And now they just show the main event. So you got to see the Canelo fight came on this weekend for you casuals. Check Showtime all the time, because Saturday night, normally around between 8 and 10, a fight is going to start some kind of way, somehow. It's very rare that Saturday night comes around and there's no fight on TV somewhere. So that's how boxing runs for the most part. Like 10 o'clock East Coast time, 9, sometimes 8, whatever the case. PGA's Big Dog said, yes, the old dudes need to stop. Just a matter of time before something tragic happens. Pretty much. And PGA said, just stream these garbage pay-per-views. I'm trying to get that thing where I can do that. I don't know. That right there is like a younger guy beating an old guy. I pretty much ain't interested. But I like Floyd. And Chavez might shock you, but I don't think he will. Isn't that man in his 60s? Chavez Sr.? Gotta be. Or close to it. He gotta be in his 60s. Because his son is in his 30s, right? He gotta be. Anywho, so Jose, yeah, you have to go back to the drawing board. You squared up. You wasn't throwing enough punches. Now that shit was driving me to hell crazy. He was that mono shit. Like, cut it out. That shit is boring. Then he had a nerve to say he running. And for that, I don't like you, Jose. I had said this previous videos, like the next time that a fighter, especially if they call themselves Mexican, say somebody was running, we should roast the hell out of them. So you can't fight Jose. You suck. You promised, you know, the bomb.com, you promised Thriller in Manila, and you gave us a front row seat to some bullshit. It was all you. You cannot make excuses for your leg. You was like, I'm gonna crack this dude ribs. How? How you gonna crack somebody ribs if you don't throw no punches? You suck, bro. And I'm harsh on you for a reason, because you know you got on the press conference talking all that crap. You don't even know how to market. You like 2 steps off or something. You wait to the final press conference to talk shit like that. You could have been talking like that earlier, but on all this social media around here, you could have been trying to sell a fight that way through your social media, but you wasn't. So you look silly, chastising the guy, going after the guy, and then you get in the fight and don't throw your motherfucking hands. Really? Demetri said Floyd can't stay out of sight. Always has to be relevant and upstage everyone. Always in the video. That what you saying? That what you saying, King? Always on stage. Always in the video. That's what people are saying. But Jose, yeah. And then at the end, I think I won the fight. He was just running. Don't say that shit no more. All y'all Mexicans, let me give y'all a PSA. Don't say that shit no more. Because you come off like a damn straight up pussy. That's what you come off. I say I don't even want to talk to people like that. I've never really even called nobody a pussy, but you get that title when you say that. Because it's not the person ran. If they ran, then why you didn't cut off the ring? That's your answer. But you want to say they ran, and I'm so sick of that cop out. Because you telling you basically, I take it personal. I consider it an act of war. Because you telling black fighters, don't be you. Don't do what typically made you great so we could be great. Are you fucking crazy? Demetrius Bright said Julio Cesar Chavez, 59 years old. Might as well be 60. 2 years away from early Social Security. Oh, I forgot you Mexican. You don't get that shit. But, again, as I explained, that they was running, that's a Mexican thing to say. Sorry, somebody show me differently. If they want to say, Miss T, you're being a little racist or something, I'm not. Show me differently where this is not something typically Mexicans say. And then you have a couple of Filipinos that try to say it too. Because Casimiro said about rigging out. I'm telling y'all, whenever y'all hear people say that, y'all should roast them and clown their ass like hell. It's a cop-out. That's what it is. It's just a cop-out. You supposed to cut the ring off. Running people look straight forward and they be going somewhere with it. They run in a straight line. How the fuck are you running in the ring? Running, a person is running, they're not looking at you. So you trying to say that man never looked at you? Or was he running, or was he using lateral movement? Ring generalship. Which one is it? Jose Benevidez non-fighting ass. How the hell they gonna put that trash on pay-per-view? I hope I don't know. They will, because it's Mayweather. It's Mayweather. It automatically goes to pay-per-view. Even if a lot of people say, Floyd, okay, we didn't let you get us a couple of times, we ain't going for it. People will buy it. I know people who will buy it, and I don't have to buy it. I can go to somebody's house and watch that. Would I watch it? Yeah, but I don't think I would buy that one. Because Chavez Sr. is like a senior citizen. He's too old to be getting in the ring doing anything like that. And I don't want to see that. You know, we need to respect our elders, but them older guys need to respect themselves and not do, stupid stuff. You're not young. They doing the same thing we say Floyd do. If we say Floyd can't get off the stage, he cannot let these young guys have it. Well, when you that old and you trying to come back and fight, you doing the same thing Floyd doing. And you can seriously get hurt. Floyd is in his 40s, but he not even over the hump. How old is Floyd? 44? Something like that. He's still on the young side of 40. He's not even over the hump. And shit, Chavez Sr., I know your ass is old and you feeling every bit of that age. Your reflexes ain't gonna be worth a damn at all. I don't think that's a good idea. But if Chavez Sr. wants to do it, that's on him. That really is on him. Maybe he won't another payday, because he will get a payday. And it will sell. It's guaranteed to be a success because it's Floyd. You know what I'm saying? And then, maybe Floyd just want to beat down both of their top Mexican fighters. Because all they got really that they can say that's, pretty much well known is Chavez Sr. and Canelo Alvarez cheating ass. I'm getting to the point for all the caking they do for Canelo. I'm getting to the point I cannot stand this dude. Like, I just can't stand him because he complicit. He down with it. He down with all of it. Well, why would I? He can say, why would I look a gift horse in the mouth? Dude, you a millionaire 10 times over. I mean, like, you just got paid $40 million. At what point does your integrity kick in? That's my question. I don't care what you do with your job. You got to have some kind of integrity if it means anything to you. And he say he want his legacy. He want this. He want that. Okay, then it has meaning. Your career has meaning. So at what point do your integrity kick in? Money Brown in the building was popping king. He said, come on, Canelo cheating. Yes, Canelo is a cheat. Straight up. I can't respect him. He allows them to cheat for him. I don't like Canelo, and I never will. Now, do he got skills? Yeah, he got skills. From the waist down, no. From the waist up, yes. But I can't assess a cheater. He's a cheater, straight up. Demetrius Bright said Chavez Sr. beat Hector Camacho Jr. 4 months ago. Huh? He did? Oh, Junior 4 months ago. He said he ready and wants payday. Well, Camacho Jr. must suck because he's so much younger. I mean, well, damn. I don't know. Maybe the old man still got it. But he gonna get hurt in there with Floyd. Money Brown said, what about the Hall of Famers Vargas, Shane Mosley, Roy Jones, Pernell? Are they known as cheaters now? I don't know. I don't know nothing about them cheating, but I don't like cheaters, period. I don't bend that rule for nobody. But, we talking present time. Back when Sweet Pea was around, I've seen some of his old fights, but I didn't get into boxing. I was into it when I was a little kid. But then I became an adult, did my thing, and then it's like I returned back to boxing. So Shane Mosley, I remember when Floyd called him out on that. Vargas, which Vargas? There's so many. And then Roy Jones, I love Roy Jones as a fighter. It's just like what I say about Pacquiao. I believe Pacquiao was on that tee. I really do. And I look at telltale signs, like his head growing. That's the one to get me the most. But if he is, and I believe he was a cheater, then what I can assess about Pacquiao, he was the best at it. Now, will Pacquiao go to the Hall of Fame? Yes. But Canelo is a straight up cheater in front of our eyes. I'm sitting right here. I'm into boxing now. The dude is a cheater and he don't care. He has a disregard for human life. That's a problem for me. Because boxing is that serious that you got to think that when you get in that ring, God forbid, somebody could lose their life. And with him cheating, you have a disregard for human life. No integrity at all. PGH Big Dog said Canelo got busted money. Canelo roared. And Money Brown said Fernando Vargas. Okay, yeah, I wasn't that big of a fan of him. I remember of him a little bit, King. But I wasn't that much of a fan of his. But to all cheaters, they can eat a dick. All cheaters. If that's what they did, I can't give them no credit for stuff they did. But the ones who got caught, and then there's the ones who didn't. So all I could do is speculate. Like Casemiro, no doubt in my mind, he's sipping that tea. No doubt in my mind. But I can't validate that. I can't really say for a fact. I just can say in my opinion. Why do I say it? Because his head grew too. That's why I say it. You know, it can be the acne and all this stuff. But you know Canelo cheating because he got a whole team behind him. You got Mr. Cantone himself, Mauricio Suleiman, caking for him. He got judges that cakes for him. The ref don't even have to get dirty because the judges and Mauricio got it locked up. When him and Floyd fought, that judge had it tied. Was that cheating? Was that lying? Do you think he scalded her or said anything? Where is your integrity, Canelo? Demetrius Bright said RJJ, Sugar Shane, and James Tony were cheats too. Who is RJJ? Demetrius. PGH Big Dog. Canelo got suspended for 6 months and WBC raised the level for clenbuterol. They sure did. They sure did. I can't do nothing with a cheater. Is what I'm saying, Money. But I understand, King, that's your guy. But I can't do nothing with a cheater. I cannot. And then he has people caking for him. Demetrius said, oh, Roy Jones Jr. Okay, yeah. And like I said, when Roy was at the height of his career, I don't really, I watch boxing, but I won't into it like I am now. When Roy was at the height of his career, it's like I had a on and off relationship with boxing throughout my life. Now it's like an obsession. Ricky Williams in the building was popping, King. Peace, goddesses. Peace to the gods. Indeed. So, yeah, it's just like Canelo got a whole, you know, when they say, when I say he got his own money, he got his own money. Or he got his own theme music. He got his own theme music. D. Ray said, salute Queen was popping, King. Yeah, he got his own theme music. He got his own money. You know, Canelo could do no wrong. I cannot like him. I just cannot. Nobody has a fair fight with him. You can't fight the ref, the judges, and Mauricio Suleiman. And, oh, by the way, your actual opponent, which is Canelo Alvarez, who likes to sip on the tea. What is an opponent to do? They fighting like 4-5 people. Ricky Williams at Demetrius Bright. Peace, God. D-Ray is Demetrius Bright. Salute, King. Blessings. So, I mean, what is a fighter to do when you got that many odds against you? Floyd used to famously say, you can have this or you can have that, but they can't fight the fight for you. The fans can't fight the fight for you. Remember how Floyd used to say that? And then to make you think and ponder and be like, they're right. They can't fight the fight for you. But You know what I'm saying? In Canelo's case, the judge can fight the fight for you. The ref, Mauricio Suleiman, he can make up rules as he go. I mean, it's a no-win situation. All it is, all you are doing when you face a Canelo is getting a lottery ticket. That's it. You already lost the fight when you signed the contract. There is no fair fight with him. Ricky Williams said you can't even fight your fight. You gotta knock him out even if you outbox him. Facts. Jerhias Clark was popping king. IMO, Floyd, and Canelo clowns to boxing they ruined. IMO. So y'all gotta. I look. I don't keep up sometimes on the lingo. IMO or LMO. Floyd and Canelo clowns to boxing they ruined. Clarify King. Clarify King. That's just me. I'm slow. Look, I'm slow on the uptake. But and welcome to the channel. It's my first time seeing you. So yeah, it's like, what do you do? I mean, how are we as fans going to enjoy boxing if this is the stuff that we got to look forward to? Oh, in my opinion. Okay. In my opinion. All right. Hopefully I remember that. Look, all this, I was going to say story time. You know that LMAO? For the longest time, I was like, what's Lamau? What's Lamau? You know, when it first was coming out, and one of the kids told me, laughing my ass off. I said, what's Lamau? What's Lamau? But yeah, I can't get into boxing. I don't want to watch boxing where I already know the outcome before the fight. I had said if anybody was watching that Caleb Plant was gonna lose. I was saying that since August. I said, I'm sorry, Caleb. He on that tee. He's cycling off. The judges ain't gonna let you win. Even if you outbox him, you do this, you do that, you're never gonna win. The narrative is already spun. The paper is written. The magazine is written. It's sitting in some warehouse off to the side, waiting to get the word to release it to the press. I mean, release it to the people. And that's all to it. Now, did I see the ref do a lot in that fight? Yeah, he didn't really have a chance to. But Caleb was winning that motherfucking fight because he was outboxing him. I ain't say Caleb hurt him. He was outboxing him, and Canelo caught him. But if Canelo didn't have his tee, would he have had the energy to catch him in the 11th round? That's why I say I cannot with Canelo, because the tee helped him probably get to the 11th round. And we're going to act like that don't matter. If he didn't have the tee, could he make it to the 11th round? Probably not, because he had stamina issues. Highest said, we got many more young fighters running who want to be Floyd these days, and nobody wants to lose day zero. I also talk about that, sir, because I be like, why y'all trying to be like Floyd? Was for Floyd was what was for Floyd. Y'all not interested in being Pretty Boy. Y'all won't try to do what he did as Pretty Boy. Y'all won't try to do what he did as a teenager. So why do y'all think y'all supposed to have the glory he had as a fighter? If you're not willing to do everything that he did, then what you talking about? But a lot of people don't want to lose their zero. But we have to get out that era. And that's a Floyd era thing. We have to get out that era. That comes once in a lifetime. Not everybody's going to have his fate. You know what I'm saying? Something you could try, and it might not just work out for you. That was for him to have. There's a purpose for him having the perfect record and being who he is. We just don't know it, and time will tell. Hindsight is 2020. Like when we look back years from now, we be like, that's why. He was chosen for whatever reason. It ain't really for us to figure out, but we have to move on from that era, because before Floyd, when it was evidently clear he was going to break Rocky Marciano record, fighters will fight each other, this, that, and the other one, a big deal. And as DJ always say, there's money in rematches. In fact, we got Estrada and Chocolatito coming up, I think January 22nd. That's their third fight. Aren't y'all interested? I am. That's their third fight coming up. Chocolatito just put on a great performance with Navarrete. You know that Chocolatito was closing in. Sorry. He was closing in on Floyd's record. Had me nervous, shit. But he lost, I think, when he was at 46 fights in. He finally lost. But I was nervous. I know Floyd was nervous. But Chocolatito has losses now. But he is a person to watch. He makes boxing, he gives us the entertainment that we searching for in the boxing game. Demetrius Bright said everyone wants to be Money Mayweather without being Pretty Boy. They sure don't want to be Pretty Boy. Jeremiah said, do you think Floyd ducked Whitaker and Williams and Paulie during his time? I don't think so. I think Floyd was a hot ticket item and a lot of people was trying to get at him. I don't think Floyd ducked nobody. But, and it's like, that's another thing. It's hard for me. First of all, I got to respect everybody who gets in the ring, even Canelo. I respect the fact that they get in because it takes a special kind of person to do that type of shit. But I know Paul Williams threw a lot of punches. He was known for that, but y'all remember Sergio Martinez. That's all I got to say about Paul Williams. Who else you was saying? Whitaker. No, I don't think so. And Williams, Paulie, definitely not Paulie. Paulie is a good fighter, man. And but Paulie to me is like a Caleb Plant. Paulie know his boxing. I'm gonna tell you this. This is gonna sound crazy. I know Paulie got himself into some hot water, but I actually miss Paulie commentating on boxing. I don't know about y'all. How y'all feel about that? Remember, y'all can call in 706-804-4449. And I'm going to put the link in the chat again. Y'all want to jump in there and let me know something, Maybe I got it all wrong. I don't think so, but maybe I'm looking at stuff all wrong. But Demetrius Bright said, train and live true champions lifestyle in and outside the ring. So far, who in boxing at the present time lives that lifestyle? Whew. That's a good question. It is somebody, though. Y'all gonna think I'm biased, but the first person that was swimming around in my head, y'all know the one and only Bud Crawford. You know why I say that? Because he's always in shape. He ain't known to be a drinker. He ain't known to be on drugs. He don't do none of that stuff. So he eats properly. He's never fat. He always got a rock hard stomach, solid, gut. And he's forever training. That's one. So I'm thinking about all the divisions. Clarissa, the GOAT, most definitely. Don't hear about her drinking, smoking, none of that bull crap. Always in shape. Always looking for the next comeback fight. Do it all. She got the best record ever known between men and women. It doesn't matter. Her shit transcends. Nobody has done it like her, period. So I got to give a shout out to her and some of the other lady fighters. I'm trying to really think of another dude. Wilder. I don't think Wilder smokes, drink, or anything. I don't know how he get down, but I don't think he does any of that. I mean, and that was the difference with Pretty Boy. He lived, eat, slept boxing. He was always in shape. He was always training, and he didn't do things like drink, smoke, and do drugs. So I had to, I had to give it to those type of people. There's a lot of them that probably is like that, but it's hard for me to say. Like I say, I'm a Bud fan, so if you guys say, "Oh, you're a little biased," I'll take that. I don't think I am, but I'll take that. D. Ray said Mayweather made up his record. Made up his record. Clarify, sir. Jaharis said, "I meant, do you think Floyd ducked Winky right?" No, I don't think Floyd ducked anybody. I think Floyd, the higher he got, the more opportunity was thrown at him. He can't, that's like Canelo right now. He's a sweepstake. Everybody, even though he sucks big time, he's a waste of boxing time. He is the hot ticket item. He's the shiny star. He's the bright, shiny object that everybody wants. He's the sweepstake. I hate to even push that narrative, but he is. A fight with him, you will become a millionaire. Period. But you might not have no integrity after you get in bed with him. You know what I'm saying? You might not have no morals left. But it is what it is. Maybe the trade-off for millions of dollars is good enough. Demetrius Bright said Paul Williams said in an interview that Floyd never ducked him. They were on different paths. See, there you have it. Now, I didn't even see that video. It was that recent, Demetrius, that he said that. I mean, I know Paul Williams had his accident, and unfortunate because I used to like Paul Williams. That dude throw punches like you can never say that dude don't throw a lot of punches. And I remember when he got beat by Sergio, they was like, "Do you think you need to change your style?" He said, "Why? When it's been working for me all this time, he just caught me." This is boxing. That can happen. Demetrius said, "That's true. Paulie is way better than Abner Mares and has his own voice." Yes. I so miss Paulie. Can we kiss and make up, y'all? Well, Paulie, can we kiss and make up? The dude, I love his commentating. I don't mean to be, not letting Paulie get his just due, but can we kiss and make up, y'all? Demetrius Bright said, rumor has it Canelo and Wilder, please. Wilder kill him. I don't even think Canelo can beat better BF, but he got a hard on for Bivol. So, maybe Payola, I don't know. That's just me speculating, y'all, in my opinion. Jer Harris said, you got a list 1 through 5 running fighters that are pit bulls who will fight every top fighter. I think that Bud will fight who he want to fight. I think that Bud makes bad decisions, or we could say they bad decisions in business by even aligning himself up with Top Rank. But that's what we could say. But who knows why he picked it? He's a millionaire 10 times over. So he did what he had to do for him. And I try not to stay in people's business choices. I try. Sometimes it'll bleed over into the ring and I'll speculate or have an opinion, but I really don't feel comfortable talking about a man's money or a grown woman's money, you know what I'm saying? Because they have their reasons for doing what they do. I'd rather talk about what they do in the ring. Okay. Now, sometimes money talk plays into, like with Canelo, he's a sweepstakes now. He became a millionaire when he fought Floyd. So for him to even, ever have said out his mouth, payday, you just want a payday, that was stupid as hell to me. That was the most dumbest shit I've ever heard. Isn't that what all of y'all want? A payday? Isn't that what you wanted when you fought Floyd? A payday? But you also wanted to kick Floyd ass. And that's what Andrade want to kick your ass. But the best you can say is payday. That dude has so many loose scruples. And who else would I say? Earl is a dog. He'll fight anybody, anytime. You don't have to do a lot of him and the Han to get him. He doesn't have, he his own promoter. Ain't no problems with him. Dog. Right now, some of the younger people who are coming up, they can be dogs. It remains to be seen once they made it over the top and they at that high echelon level. Do they remain dogs? So I'm thinking of people like Boots Ennis. Dude is hungry. He'll fight anybody, I'm sure. Let me pick another division. So 135, Haney comes to mind. Haney will fight anybody. But Haney is, the business side be showing up in his decisions too. Because if Haney would fight anybody, they could have been asked Cruz to fight them. I knew about Cruz. I know they had to know about Cruz. That would have always been a good fight. Now the world gonna know about Cruz because he's fighting Tank. But Haney comes to mind at 135. I don't really say T.O. And I like T.O. I don't really say T.O. because he get caught too much into the business side. I think Gary Russell, believe it or not, will fight anybody, Gary Russell Jr. But I think he's he's principled. He's way more principled than most people. So it's about integrity, principalities. Look, that's not a word, I know. Principality to this shit for Gary Russell. It's about that and the money. All those things can delay or get you caught up in trying to make a fight. 140. Oof. See, I'm not sold on this Josh Taylor so much. Hold on. What's popping, King? D-Ray in the building on the phone lines. What's popping, King? What's good? Oh, thank you. Yes, yes. That's my guy. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah. he said salute, King. Right, right. No, you good, you good. Almost definitely. Yes. Yes. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he been set because he's dabbling as a commentator, and he got his podcast. He didn't slip a line or two. I ain't too hard and mad at Sean, but he just said some shit that looked almost coonish. I was like, wait a minute, Sean, slow your roll. Hmm. 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 Yeah, but what I would give Sean Porter, and you would think that I'd be talking about the Bud fight all this week. Me and Coach G basically said we have to see because I just never knew a lot of people just did not like Crawford. I was like I was just like, wow, I don't know how you can not like him, but to each his own. I'm not mad at nobody. Um, and, but the Porter thing, um, in my opinion, I have to say maybe Porter don't have power. He can out hustle you. A lot of work and out hustling could make a person sit down, and Sean can give that to you. He's almost throwback. But ever since I've, been introduced to Sean, which was way, way, way back, way before Cal Brook and him fought, um, I always said, this dude used to play football. I see a little football and boxing mixed together, and he used his head a little bit. And at first I thought he was cheating, but then I became a Sean Porter fan. But then I was like, when the big fights come, you don't close the show. And I'm gonna say that fight between him and Errol was so close to me in my eyes. And I like Errol. I can love Bud as a fan, and he be my top guy. And like Errol Spence too. But a lot of Errol Spence fans, if they love Errol, it's hard for them to like Bud too. The mm, mm, mm. Right. Mm, I believe you. Right. He did, didn't he? Then he said he did say that because Bud. I mean, it was somebody, I think TGB promotion on Sean's side. He said, "Say that again. Say that again." Like Bud said that. But when I probably get a little hate for this. people, when I tell you I'm an Errol Spence fan, I really am. That's no cap. That's not me trying to save face. Well, really, I'm an Earl hater or nothing, but I just like Bud more. That's it. But I am an Earl fan. But I will say, and I've seen Earl do this before, if we have to bring the video up and show it, I don't know why he does it. I don't know why he does it, but Earl will go to the nuts. Don't know why. And he does it enough times where I have to ask, is it intentional? I don't know why. Because I feel like he's that great of a fighter. He don't need to. But I see that. Oh, go ahead, sir. He didn't. He looked, remember, he looked at the ref like, come on. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. I'll agree. Most definitely. You always welcome. That's every Friday, King. That's every Friday, King. Oh yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, these ladies, they work 9 to 5s. They hardworking ladies. Sometimes they can come on, sometimes they can't. I know a lot of people, not just ladies. I know a lot, from traveling all over the world. I just know a lot of people. And so, I sometimes be like, y'all want to come on, whatever. But most of my friends, they still work. And so they get home, they're tired. They still got little kids, some of them. So, it is what it is. My kids are grown. Mhm. Mhm. Most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you, caller. So thanks for the caller. Thanks for the caller. I was reading some of y'all chat, and where was it? I need to You said Canelo and Wilder lives the lifestyle. Canelo not. Wilder maybe, Demetrius. And you my boy right there. Demetrius my boy. But I have to disagree, player. Um I hope I'm saying your name right. Jerhias, Jojo Diaz, Gabe Rosado, Andrade will fight anybody. I don't know about Jojo Diaz. Gabe Rosado, I'm willing to go along with that. And Andre, I'm willing to go along with that. But Jojo Diaz, no, because he didn't really want to have to fight Devin Haney. He kicking and screaming going to that fight. If you look at him good enough, he be shaking. Y'all better pay attention. And I told y'all, is it me or did Devin grow up overnight? His voice got deeper. Now, maybe y'all guys, y'all hear deep voices all the time. Y'all hear your own voice. But female, we can notice when something like that happened. Devin Haney voice has dropped. And he's thicker. not fatter. He's thicker, and it ain't from let me lift these weights. It's man, and what y'all say, man strength, all that good stuff. Oh, he about to be a beast. So good luck to JoJo Diaz. I hope you make it through. I sincerely hope you make it through, but definitely gonna smash you. Demetri say D-Tay promotion loves Bud just like you, Miss T. I guess you meant D-Ray promotion. Is you talking about the D-Ray that trained with Earl? I don't D-Ray promotions. Love Bud just like me. Well, Bud is a more complete fighter, y'all. He just is. In the 147 division, there's two that come to mind: Boost Ennis and Bud. They're the more complete fighter. I've seen them do more things. Now, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about their level of competition, it's hard to get into that because everybody was somebody till they lost or till they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? When I hear a lot of people who say, well, Gamboa was his best which column and he hurt him. Bud leaves his hands down. This is a critique. Bud leaves his hands down a little bit more than I think his coaches want him to do. But he does that. As he get older, the reflexes to, guard against it won't be there as it was when he was younger. That is a flaw in Bud. Demetri said Regis will fight anybody to include Bud one day when he moves up to 147 after he captures the belt at 140. Demetrius was on Barbershop Conversation, and I think he declared that he was good at 140. He's gonna stay there for a while. He has a nutritionist now, and he has no problem with making weight. You said not Blu-ray. Okay, King. Yeah, I heard the Ray part, and I was like, is that the one that trained Earl? Demetrius said Blu-ray is Earl's strength and conditioning coach. True that, yes indeed. But I think Boost Ennis and Bud are the more complete fighters in the welterweight division. I think Earl is the king of the welterweight division, and it's like I like I said, I like Earl as a fighter. Do he do the nut shots? He do. He did it in Ocampo. Like I can what else can I be critical about Bud? Like I said, when that's switching, now Bud does it effortlessly. He does it better than most people, but he always make me nervous when he does it. But I be wondering, is he gonna get caught one day when he does it? I think with Sean, if he switches, he better be far back when he do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be up on him doing that, because I think Sean is the wrong person to do that with. Like I said, Bud keeps his hands down. I think Sean is the wrong fighter to do that with. But Sean is either gonna try to outbox Bud, which he will not be able to. Hands down, Bud will wash him if they try to box. Bud got that. He's longer. He can keep on outside all night and piece him up. There's no competition there. Sean will have to be wild boy. He have to be the wild guy. And for that, Bud's gonna catch him coming in. And that's why I got Bud, and that's what I see that's gonna happen. Bud is gonna catch him coming in and gonna be like bloop, knock him out. But let me get back. Let me roll back just a little bit. Back to Benevidez. Benevidez and Kyrone Davis put on a show Saturday. I'm proud of both of them. Kyrone Davis, I am now a fan. I don't know what you would have to do to not make me a fan. He's a soft-spoken, very mild-mannered young man, which is cool with me. But y'all talk about dog in the ring? That dude got more heart and more dog than most fighters who've been fighting for a long time. Automatic fan. Even the commentators were saying that. There were times when I thought this man might even beat David Benevidez. As I'm watching the fight, I was like, oh man, he exposed David. I don't know if Canelo wants some of that. Look at my king, Shelton Moore. Is in the building. What's popping, King?
Hey, Miss T, how you doing?
Good. I'm good. Just cooking on this dinner we had Saturday night
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
we got some good
Benevidez
boxing.
fight.
Got some good boxing on Saturday night.
Yeah, we did. And so let me finish the thought. So David Benevidez, to me, just a little bit got exposed. I'm sure Canelo was looking at it and saying, I could be him. Because one thing the Benevidez brothers do, and I don't know why, they love to square up. Now, David, you're young. You're like 24, 25. He said he'll be 25 next month. So I guess it's working for you because you can't outdo youth. Youth is the bomb.com. But as you get older, that shit ain't gonna work for you. Ask Omar Figueroa. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
all fight weird. You guys gotta learn how to stop squaring up. But one thing that David said at the end, he said, he didn't hurt me. I could have went all night and I'm gonna make sure you break before I do. He wasn't out of breath throughout the fight, and I believe him. But through the fight, I think Tyrone kind of gave some nuggets. He dropped some breadcrumbs to show you what you can do to David Benavidez. What you think, Shelton?
Well, I enjoyed the scrap. I mean, I didn't expect much when I saw Kyron Davis's record, 16 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 6 knockouts. I kind of knew what was going to happen. See, Benavidez is a guy you don't have to look for. He's going to be right in front of you.
Right.
So if you can't hit him with anything that's going to make him think or worry, he's going to stand right in front of you. He's going to hit you with those combinations, those hard shots. He's going to get you out of there. That's why the only thing that worries me about him in the Canelo fight is if he has the power to hurt Alvarez. Because if he can hurt Alvarez and back him up, he can beat him based on his work rate. He throws a bunch of punches. He doesn't get tired. But if he can't throw anything at Alvarez that's going to make him think or make him back up, Alvarez is going to do the same thing he does to all the rest of these cats. He's going to corner him. Well, he's going to walk him down, cut angles, get close, and he's going to knock him out.
So you heard recently what's going on with Alvarez, Higa, Mr. Cantone caking for him again. I guess shout outs to BFTB because that's the only place I heard it at. I guess it's a clip of Mauricio Suleiman out there talking about Canelo is automatically the franchise champion. So I guess once you get it, you got it for any division that you choose to step in, which is bullshit anyway.
But that's how it works, though. It's a bullshit belt, but that's how it works. The franchise title gives you the ability to move up and down in weight as you see fit and challenge any champion for any title at that weight.
So
that has a WBC belt.
How can you have a franchise privilege in a weight division you never been in?
It's up to the sanctioning body. He's the WBC franchise champion. That doesn't mean the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA gonna recognize that shit.
But why they going along with that shit?
They not going along with it. That's what he said. He said he's the WBC franchise champion. He can control what happens with the WBC belt. He can't control what happens with the IBF belt, the WBA belt, or the WBO belt.
Somebody asked him the clip that BFTB play. Somebody asked him something about the TO belt. Now that was interesting. That was very interesting. I was glued to the TV like, what happened? What'd he say? Does that mean the same for TO? Well, no. And you know what the difference is? Well, TO was fighting that lightweight. The fuck?
It should be the same for TO because TO can go down to lightweight and challenge Devin Haney. He can go up to 40, challenge Josh Taylor for the WBC strap. He can go to 47 if he can make it and challenge who has the WBC strap up there? Errol Spence. Any weight division he can make as the franchise champion at 135, that gives him the ability to go up to any division that he can make the weight in and challenge the WBC champion for that title. That's what the franchise gives you.
Mauricio said no. And we lost Shelton. Let me see. Make sure I put that. What's got him back in there? Hopefully, he came back. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Miss T. Say that again. Mauricio said what now?
I said Mauricio said no, not for T.O., only for Canelo.
Well, what does that tell you? Hold on. He said no, not for T.O., only for Canelo.
He didn't
What does
say it
that tell
like
you?
that. That was
What
me
does that tell
putting.
you?
Look, that was me putting my stank on it on the
Oh,
end.
okay.
But
Okay.
that's basically what he said. Because the guy asked him, "What about for T.O.?" No, but it's
What does
for
that tell you?
Canelo.
I'm asking you, what does that tell you, Miss T? What does that tell you?
He's a racist prick, and he's caking for Canelo.
No, that tells you that too. That's definitely a fact. But that tells you that Teofimo is not undisputed until he beats Devin Haney for that strap. That's
That's
what it
true.
tells you.
But you
That's what
know
it tells.
they made that be known when T.O. showed up with all his hardware at the fight, trying to style and profile. Like, look, we together. Look how I said we together.
Yeah,
We the
exactly.
together. and
That's
and
why.
and
Why
they
you
didn't
think?
validate him that day.
Why you think Josh Taylor said what he said? Don't even mention my name
Exactly.
until you handle your business at 135. You haven't handled your business yet.
Exactamundo. Exactly. And T.O. was looking crazy, and I like T.O. I like T.O. a lot, but stop the madness. You are not WBC,
Well,
and you
he's trying to live off that win. He's saying because Lomachenko beat Luke Campbell for the strap, and Lomachenko never lost it in the ring, but he dropped it. Like, now, let me ask you this, Miss T. Me and
okay.
you walking down the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
You behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I drop $100. Now, I'm not. I know you're not that type of person, but I'm just saying I drop $100.
Mm-hmm.
You pick it up and put it in your pocket. Is that my $100 anymore?
Oh, that's a good question. You say I'm not that type of person. You're right.
I
I
don't
would
think.
give it. So I'd be like, sir, here's your 100. But
Right.
I know people who do that, and guess what? If you don't know you dropped it and they kept it,
If
I
you
mean
drop it,
that's how life is,
yeah.
But you
If
should
you
have
drop
morals and
something and
integrity.
somebody else picks it up, it's
Hmm.
not yours anymore.
That's
Not,
how the
possession
world
is 9/10
bends.
of the law. That's how the world is. So
Yeah.
by T.O.'s logic, if you want to listen to Teofimo's logic,
Hmm.
since Joe Frazier never beat Muhammad Ali in the ring when he became the world heavyweight champion, Joe Frazier was never really the world heavyweight champion, now was he?
I don't know what the fuck he talking about on that one.
He
T.O. said
couldn't
that.
be. I mean, he couldn't be. That's the logic he's using. Well, Lomachenko won the title in the ring, and he never lost in the ring. So since I beat Lomachenko, I'm automatically the champion. No,
Nah,
Ali never lost in the ring. He was
T.O.
stripped.
also,
So
but
they gave
T.O.
someone else the belt because
Uh,
Lomachenko was elevated. He dropped the WBC.
mhm.
He was elevated to franchise. Devin Haney was the interim champion. So he was elevated to champion. That makes him the WBC world champion.
But here's the other thing. Where I give T.O. a pass is in the beginning when he won. This is the shit they was pumping to him. T.O. has had his end moment. He's definitely had that recently because why? They don't need him no more. They got the white shiny armor, the knight in white. I don't even remember how that shit used to go, but they
Yeah.
got their
The knight
white
in shining
prince.
armor, the white guy, the
Yeah,
great
the
white
white
hope. I
guy,
know what you mean. The great white hope.
the great white hope. They got their man, and he's happened to be Latino and unapologetically Latino, unlike some people like Whitey Garcia.
Right. Right.
I would give Canelo that much. He is proud of where he come from and who he is. There is no
Correct.
doubt when you're around this man that's what how his moral compass move. But then you
Right.
got people like Garcia who's ashamed, saying like his dog's about to kill somebody. Then you got Whitey Garcia out here faking a funk like he white. But Mauricio, Canelo, and all of them is trying to change a narrative. Because if you let things just go the way they naturally progress, there would never be a time. This is what I'm thinking they think. It's me speculating, my opinion, y'all. I think that they think there will never be a time when Mexicans run boxing. I think they feel that way. So they have to make sure they on the map, because when you talk about boxers and famous boxers or great boxers, they're usually black. And if they're not white, and then if it's not,
Well, I mean,
then
if you look at
Latino.
the history of boxing in the last 30 years,
Hmm.
you can't tell the story of boxing without mentioning Julio Cesar Chavez.
You
You
can. I
can't tell the
mean, you
story of boxing without mentioning Salvador Sanchez, Carlos
to,
Monzon.
to a
You know what I'm
certain
saying?
extent, yeah, you
So
can though.
now you
I'm.
can't really. Now you're talking about the middleweight division. Now if you're
Mhm.
talking about the featherweight division. Now if you're talking about the lightweight at 140-pound division, you can't leave those guys out because they were the greatest at those divisions to do it. Alexis Arguello, one of the greatest to ever do it. If you're a boxing historian,
But
but
most people are not.
right
They
now,
casuals.
yeah, well, that's true. A lot of them are casuals. Like casuals don't know that stuff.
But but
Hold on.
your wife had to get the dog straight. Get him straight. um, but they casuals though. I mean they like you said, boxing historians. But if they were casuals or just run of the mill boxing fans, they might not even think of them. That's not when I think boxing. You got to think everywhere you go in the world. I lived all over the world, and I can tell you, if I say Muhammad Ali, they knew who he was. If I say certain other fighters, they are know. If I say Floyd Mayweather, they know who he is. I mean, you just don't have that with Mexican fighters. And I'm not saying that they're not top dog and those great fighters and this, that, and the other. But in the end of the day, they're not well known. Like you said, boxing historians or people who are knee deep, live, sleep, breathe, eat boxing. Yeah, they would know them. But just the rest of us, casual fans or just regular fans, even serious fans, you know, that they don't come to mind. Demetrius Bright says Salvador Sanchez was a beast also. So I'm just saying that's they want Mexicans to have that running or top billing, like when you talk about Sugar Ray Robinson, or when you talk about Joe Louis, or you talk about Muhammad Ali, or you talk about Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, uh, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, Hagler, and so forth and so on. Floyd Mayweather, I can't forget my boy, Floyd. They want them to have that notoriety. Do a lot of fighters pass 50, like past Floyd's record? Yes, but they don't stop. So when they take that L, like Chavez Senior at 80 fights in, he missed his mark. He could have stopped, and nobody would have caught him. You hear me? Nobody would have caught him. I can't
Right,
think of
but he,
nobody.
it was a different time. He was
Mhm.
living fast, doing drugs, blowing through his money. Plus, he was working for Don King, so a lot of his money was being stolen. So,
Mhm.
so it
Look,
was a
is that?
different time, and the purses weren't as big back then, especially in those lighter weights.
And let me tell you, I'm starting to think that sugar, that drug that they love to use, that sugar, I'm
Yes, man.
beginning to think that thing make you don't have no feelings. I'm trying to find an expert on it to tell us, maybe an expert who's probably work on the medical side of the house, but maybe have also been, fell victim to addiction with that. Because I'm starting to really believe you can't feel nothing when you own that shit.
Well,
And
you
that
could be
would be
right,
ideal if you're a boxer or whatever.
but
That would be ideal.
it also speeds up your heart rate. It constricts your blood vessels. So in a sport like boxing, where you got to exert massive
Mhm.
amounts of energy, it
That's
could cause you
bad.
to have a heart attack or a stroke and die. So I don't think
Yeah,
that's a good thing to use.
it's not. But when you young, and you there for the short, you there for the short term. On certain things, you want shit fast. Till once you get it, you be like, why the fuck did I? Whatever. But you saw
Exactly.
the fight, right? So,
Yeah, I
like
did.
Benevidez, Tyrone Davis showed me some some kinks in Davis' armor. Do you agree or not agree?
Oh yeah, he showed you some kinks in his armor. David has a lot of kinks in his armor. He stands flat-footed. His footwork is terrible, but he throws a bunch of punches. Some of them are hard punches, and he's constantly on you. He don't give you no room to breathe. He outworks you. He smothered the guy. He just outworked him. You know what I'm saying? So
He doesn't get hurt.
The thing for me is, well, that guy can't punch. He only got 6 knockouts in 20 fights, so he can't punch.
But
They knew that when they signed him up.
I've seen people fight what's his name? David Benevidez and hit him hard. Even harder than Chiron, and David takes a punch.
Yeah, but see, that's not Canelo Alvarez. We know he can punch. We know for a fact that he can punch. So here's the thing. Can David punch hard enough to keep that guy off of him? Because if he can't, it's going to end the same way.
If you can't keep
that guy off you, he's going to knock you out.
Yes. I've said many times, if you can't hit hard, stay the hell out the ring with Canelo. Don't even entertain that thought. Because if he could take your punch because you can't hit hard, you done. He can wait. He got 12 rounds to wait around till you slip up, and you will. Because nobody's perfect. And when you slip up, as somebody else say, he places his punches well. He will.
He does. I don't take nothing away from the guy. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I think he's the best out there, especially in that division. Now, do I think that if you dropped him off in the 80s, he'd be as good as he is? No, because there were better fighters back then. There's really not no competition for him at 68. People keep bringing up Charlo and they keep bringing up Andre, but last time I checked, them dudes haven't moved up yet. So I don't know why they keep bringing them up.
But they bringing them up because they're actually saying, like I know Charlo has recently actually said that he's willing to move up to fight him. Andre been begging for a fight forever. So I'm sure Andre is on board with moving up there. And David has called him out, but David called Charlo a pussy. Let's get to that part. That part right there. He called Charlo a pussy.
Right, he did.
I'm like, where the hell that come from, Shelton?
Enlighten you don't know why?
Enlighten me, because I don't be following the Charlos no more.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Break it down, King. Break it down.
About a year, maybe about 8 months ago. I don't say a year, maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago. Jamel Charlo called out David Benevidez. David Benevidez said, let's fight. Jamal Charlo said, well, no, you got first. He said, well, no, I'm not at 68. I'm at 160. Then Jamel Charlo said, well, I'll fight him, but I don't fight anybody that's under 25. And he has to have a COVID test for us to fight.
Yeah, I mentioned that in one of my things.
Yeah,
I thought that was you. That was
Then he said, I don't fight at 168. I fight at 160. So he wants to fight me. You got to come down here. But you called him out. Then you made every excuse in the book not to fight him. What does that make you?
I just called Canelo a pussy. I called enough people pussies today. So I'm not going to, even though I don't like Charlo, but that don't look good, Charlo. I ain't going to call him a pussy.
And these are all facts. They're documented. That's what he did. He did that. So, you know, I'm not no huge David Benevidez fan. I like the guy. I think he's a good fighter. But he's within his rights because you called me out. I said, let's fight. Now you don't want to fight. You're making up every excuse in the book. Sound like a pussy to me. I mean, I don't know what the chat or anybody else thinks, but sound like a pussy to me. Sound like you're scared.
In the chat, what y'all think? What y'all think? Did David have call Charlo a coochie, a tutu, a pocketbook?
That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? You call a man out, so you want to fight, then you make every excuse in the book not to fight.
Sound like, I guess, David feel like he had probable cause. How y'all feel about it? Y'all can call in 706-804-4449. That's 706-804-4449. Or chime in the chat, or let me put up the invite again. So I just, David Benevidez should be really throwing his venom, in my opinion, towards the hot ticket item, which is Canelo. Because when he
Well,
does that, he gives them an option to be like, well, you right. You go fight Charlo. Well, if David Benevidez is Willy Wonka, as somebody has said, I seen a picture with their thumbnail saying that he was Willy Wonka at this point.
with the golden ticket.
Then yeah, getting the gold ticket and shit. Then direct your venom at Canelo because
See, he
you
doesn't have to do
winning
that.
regardless.
But see, he doesn't have to do that because he already knows that he's getting the fight. If not in May, he's getting it in September because he's the number one contender for the WBC strap
Canelo
at 168 pounds.
This dude.
So Canelo has two choices. He can either fight him or he can vacate the WBC strap.
Canelo is not gonna stay there. What he can't have on his record is that he lost the fight. Meaning he lost them belts in the ring. He can't have that. He's gonna drop them damn belts. More than likely.
I don't think so. I don't think so because if he goes to 75, Canelo's very smart. He's not as stupid or as what they say macho as people think. He understands that if he goes to 75, he could probably beat Joe Smith. He could probably beat Bivol. But Benevidez and Zurdo Ramirez beat him up and probably knock him out. They're just too big. He's only 5'8". People forget Canelo's only 5'8". Those dudes walk around at about 200, 210 pounds at 175. They cut down.
I don't know why he think he could beat Bivol. He got his heart set on Bivol. Demetrius Wright says Shelton is right.
Yeah, because Bivol's a boxer. And Bivol doesn't have as much power as those other two guys. Neither does Joe Smith. But them other two guys, Ramirez and Benevidez, they hit like Mack trucks.
Ramirez, you talking about Zurdo? Zurdo don't have a belt. Zurdo don't have a belt
at 168. Zurdo was the champ at 168 for 3 years, and nobody called him out. Nobody. That's why Zurdo's 42-0 with 30-some knockouts.
And Pete Gang, he closing in on Floyd record. Demetrius says Shelton is right. Going over the historic facts. Benevidez called Charlo a pussy. Haven't heard a word from Charlo. Crickets. Yeah, it was like this is what we heard.
Yeah, so Canelo's very smart. He's not stupid. You'll never hear him call out Zurdo Ramirez. He may entertain Benevidez if somebody brings it up, but he ain't looking for that fight. Those are the two toughest fights he got at 75, and he knows it. And I don't think he beats either.
Was Zurdo ever undisputed at 168?
No, he was the WBO champion for 3 years, and nobody would fight him. Nobody wanted to fight him.
What happened with Benevidez? Why didn't he fight him?
He wasn't on the radar yet. And he's a WBC guy. He's not in the WBO, but he wasn't on the radar yet. He's like a 10, 11 fight fighter.
So tell me this. I keep hearing this, but I'm thinking once you're in boxing, all the sanctioning bodies are ranking you, but you got to want to be on that list. And do you got to sign something to be on the list so you can be ranked? Because I keep hearing stuff like, oh, you ranked in the WBC, but you're not ranked in the WBO or WBA.
It all depends on what connections your promoter has with what sanctioning body. We all know Bob runs the WBO. We know PBC is really tight with the WBA, and they got some WBC ties because they got champions. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what connections your promoter has with what sanctioning body.
Well, WBA and WBC, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, are Latino belts. So, like, if WBA, WBA almost got either a 2-prong, 3-prong favoritism. Like, you either gonna be Latino, or you're gonna be Venezuelan, or you're gonna have the most money.
Yeah, you're gonna be Floyd. WBC, or you're gonna be Floyd.
Yeah.
Or man.
At WBC, you have to be Mexican, straight up.
Well, no, Charlo been holding on to that belt for a while. Shit, Wilder held that motherfucker for 5 years, didn't fight one mandatory. Maybe he fought 1 or 2.
But
I mean, they love money. Whoever gonna bring in the most money is who they like.
No.
That's who they like.
Mr. Cantone love him some Mexican. He represents his people. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but you ain't got to go and be fair to everybody else and have different rules for Canelo and or whoever you like, and then everybody else got to toe the line. When it comes to WBC and Wilder, I don't think they really wanted Wilder to hold it, but they never really. Now, if they'd have came out on some fugaziness, talking crazy when it comes to Wilder and having that belt, if the WBC is dirty in any of this when it comes to Wilder and Fury, we will go crazy. I think the whole world would nut up because that we cannot have, and I think we will. The pressure that we will put on the WBC will be amazing and not something that he saw coming. So he remains in the background with that if he's dirty, because I can't say Mauricio is dirty with that when it comes to Wilder and Fury. But we know.
I'm just saying, look at the history of boxing. What champion you know? What champion you know? Look at the history of boxing. What champion you know never fought a mandatory?
Never thought what?
Fought a mandatory. What champions fight mandatories.
Who ain't fought a mandatory? Who you talking about?
Wilder fought maybe 1 or 2 mandatories in 5 years. All the rest of them fights was voluntary.
But
they had a problem.
No, but
with Wilder, they made him fight the number one guy.
We can't say that. We can't say that. We can't say that because it ain't all Wilder's fault. It's not like Wilder didn't try. It's not like Wilder did not try to fight some of his mandatories. Like you got people that's popping and shit.
They tried to fight?
As Dillian won't try to really fight Wilder. Now come on now. Taco meat won't really with the smoke. Now come on now.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the Wilder talk because he resting right here. He resting right now, counting his millions. Let him chill.
We gonna never talk bad about the king over here. This might as well be his channel. This might I know, but he mine. This might as well be his channel. You get cut over here talking about the king.
No, Lord. Never leave Wilder alone.
I know, right?
We gonna leave the greatest heavyweight.
Don't get my palpitation going. Don't get my palpitation.
Nah.
We hit the Fred Sanford on you. You hear that, Elizabeth? Come to join you.
We gonna leave the greatest heavyweight since Muhammad Ali alone.
Hey, we're gonna leave the king alone. We're gonna leave the king alone. Hey, he is the king of all he surveyed over here. You hear me?
We're gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna leave it right there. Demetrius said, hold on, let me get the chat. Demetrius said, if I was David and Canelo wants to him out for 2 years per Reynoso, he should move up to 175 before Canelo moves up and get a belt. Canelo don't want to fight David. He don't want to fight Charlo.
No, Charlo don't need to move up.
Canelo don't want to fight him.
Charlo need to move up.
He do, and he wants to. I mean, I do not like. Well, let me say it better. I don't really mess with the Charlos over here. But if I don't have to talk about them, I won't. But I ain't gonna keep rehashing why I don't like them. But the Charlos said he wanted to fight David Benevidez. I mean, not David. Canelo, and he said he wanted to move up. So I'm gonna take him at his word that he want to move up. But then again, I don't know. Canelo is in a unique position where he can fight who he want. Any weight class, he could cherry pick everything. The one thing about you that you can guarantee with Canelo is that you're gonna make money.
Exactly, he's the ticket.
That's
Everybody want to fight Canelo, so
he is the sweepstakes. Now, when they say that shit,
it's 2 guys, Miss T, that everybody want to fight. They want to fight Canelo. They want to fight Anthony Joshua. That's when you're gonna get paid. That's the 2 dudes that's gonna pay you. Those are big money fights. Them 2 guys.
But Wilder, if you fight Wilder, there's some other people that if you fight, you're gonna make money because they make money. If you make money during your fight,
Wilder has to have the right dance partner to make money. Wilder never made no money, no real money until he fought Fury. That's when he made money. How much did he make for fighting Benevidez the Goods?
You talking about so long ago. And we looking at
I'm wrong.
the
You're
Wilder in
absolutely
the
wrong.
last couple of years. Like
You're
when
absolutely
I
right.
talk about
I'm
their
wrong.
status, when I talk about their status, I'm talking about their current status. As Wilder is a boxer today, it don't matter who he fight. That fight is gonna make money because people are big fans, and people either hate him or they like him, so it makes money.
I don't think
But
Wilder can make money fighting out
I
on
don't think
Wilder.
Fury can make money. I don't think Fury could pack the house like him and Wilder pack the house. Now I don't see
They gotta
that.
have a dance partner, exactly.
Fury do, not
You gotta have
Wilder.
a dance partner. But the
We
thing
gonna get off
is,
Wilder.
the thing is, those two guys gonna make you some money.
Mhm.
Now, Charlo is not wrong for wanting to fight Canelo because that's his ticket. Where he's wrong at is he's not cleaning out his division. He should be trying to fight Demetrius Andre. He should be trying to get the winner of Triple G and Murata. That should be his mission. Clean out your division. Yeah. Move up. Now with two or three good fights under your belt.
Mm-hmm. What are you?
Once it's 2021, go into a fight with Canelo and think you got a shot. You don't have a shot. He's gonna beat you.
So would Triple G fight a Charlo? Or Triple G be ducking him or don't want to fight him? I don't know. When he unfreeze, he'll answer that for us. I can't remember if Triple G wanted to even give the Charlo or Jamal Charlo a shot.
He don't have a shot because he's not active enough. These guys got to get more active. They got to fight more. The only way you get better at fighting, Miss T, is to fight. You don't get better at fighting in the gym. You don't get better at fighting sitting on your couch, being on Instagram, being drunk at fights. That doesn't make you a better boxer. The only way to become a better boxer is to fight. And these guys are not active enough. They don't fight enough to be able to beat a guy like Canelo Alvarez. The only one who's been active is Benevidez. This is the third fight he had this year. So he's been a little bit active. But I still don't think he's been active enough to beat a Canelo. You got to be fighting all the time.
I think he has. I think the dude has energy naturally. Like he could go forever and ever, which we know Canelo can't. That's why he cheats.
Yeah, but that's you take a couple of them body shots from Canelo, it's gonna slow you down.
But that's the
slow
ticket.
You down.
Can Canelo take his punch? Can he take Canelo's punch? It's just like when we talk about Tank Davis and Pitbull Cruz. Now I know I've been hemming and hawing about Pitbull Cruz. Y'all be like, who the hell is that? We gonna know him. We gonna know him by December when Tank fight him. I got my man Tank. I'm always home team. However, Pitbull is named Pitbull for a reason. That dude is destructive. He hardcore. He's relentless. He remind me, not saying his style, but there's the top dog of all the boxing who I give the king hat to when it comes to being relentless is Errol Spence. That's a relentless fighter. And to me, it's a winning combination. To be a relentless fighter is a winning combination. There's almost no answer for that shit.
But who has he fought?
Pitbull Cruz is like that.
But who has he fought?
Who you talking about?
Pitbull Cruz. Who's he fought?
He fought Magdaleno and who's the other guy? He just coming up.
Yeah, he ain't fought nobody. That's why they put him in there.
No, he fought some people. Y'all gotta stop that.
He ain't fought nobody.
Y'all gotta stop that.
He ain't fought nobody of note. He ain't fought nobody.
He fought,
and that's the problem.
Magdaleno and somebody else that of note. I forget the dude's name, but what he did to Magdaleno, but y'all gotta stop that with like, there ain't nobody. You know, he fought Tomato Can. The dude is up and coming. This is his big break.
It's his big break.
He gonna get break.
And Tank gonna break him.
Tank gonna win.
Tank gonna break him off.
This fight, a better boxer.
It's not gonna last 5 rounds. If it goes 5 rounds, I'll be shocked.
But here's the thing. I know that Isaac Cruz can hit hard. You know what will hurt Isaac Cruz? There's a couple of things that can happen to him. He fall under them lights. If he cave under them lights, nobody can save him. But if he don't give a fuck about the audience that's there and he don't cave under them lights and he hit Tank and he catch Tank, The question is, can Tank take his punch? Because all
Everybody
the
hit him
fights
hard.
that
You're
Tank,
right.
all the fights that Tank has fought, I don't think nobody has ever hit him that hard.
Well, Barrios hit him hard, and he just ate it. Hit him flush. I was
And
at
it
the fight.
didn't bother.
Hit
It
him
didn't.
flush.
That's what I mean by
Walk right
he
through it.
did hit him, but it didn't
Walk
hurt
right through
Tank.
it. So I
Can
don't
he
know
walk
about
through
this
a pit
kid.
bull fight? Have you ever seen him fight? Shelton, have you looked him up?
Not yet. I saw him fight on a PBC undercard once.
Right. Yeah,
He
he's
looks
all
like a
right.
mini Sean Porter.
He
He
yeah,
like a mini
he's
Sean Porter.
relentless. But he's relentless. That's the part about Earl that he reminds me of. I be like, God damn. That's the part I love. Demetrius Bright said Triple G will never fight Charlo. He said that in the past, or his ex-trainer said that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Demetrius also said Charlo should fight Munguia.
Well, see, here's my problem with Munguia, right?
Yeah. He gonna come back and tell us he froze for a second. I did see that fight with Munguia a little bit. I won't press. Go ahead.
You're ranked number 1 in the WBC. You're ranked
Right.
number 1 in the WBO. Why are you calling out Triple G, who has the IBF belt? You're ranked number 12 in the IBF. You're not getting a Triple G fight. So why are you calling him out? You should be calling out Charlo. You should be calling out Andrade. But you calling out a guy who you know you're not going to get to fight with.
Because he really don't want to fight. He don't want to fight nobody tough. Because he really don't want to fight nobody tough. That's the answer, right?
Yeah. He wants easy pickings because Golovkin is 40 years old. He wants some easy pickings. And it ain't going to happen like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that fight. You're not getting the Triple G fight. Triple G ain't going to fight you. He ranked number 12. What the fuck would he fight you for?
Did you think that Gabe Rosado beat him?
Fights? Huh?
Did you think Gabe Rosado beat him?
No, Gabe didn't win. But he made a good showing for himself. Gabe didn't win.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
That's what I
It was
was
an excellent
saying.
fight. That's fight of the year. That's one of the best fights I've seen.
Gabe got that Sean Porter syndrome too. That dude is a beast. He can fight. I like him as a boxer, but he never closed the deal. He kind of got that Sean Porter syndrome. But I'm a fan of Gabe Rosado. You know, every time he get in the fight, I be like, he's gonna win. He's gonna win, and it never happens. I be like,
well, you got to remember too. Gabe is 35 and Munguia is 24, so age had a lot to do with that too. Munguia, as you notice, Munguia stepped on the gas 10, 11, and 12, and Gabe just couldn't keep up.
Hey, you remember when Munguia first came out? When he had 147, or was that in my head? Huh?
No, he was at 147 when he started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He started there, and I thought he was too big. Then I was like, "Who is this big old Paul Bunyan, John Henry nigga up in the ring with these little guys?" Demetrius Bright said, "Miss T, ask Shelton what he thinks about Floyd versus Chavez Sr."
I think Prime Floyd versus Prime Chavez Sr.
Good fight.
Floyd gets him because Floyd don't get hit as much as Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor had him beat, but Meldrick Taylor is a pocket guy, stood in the pocket and bang, and he got beat up by Chavez Sr. That's what got him out of there. He got destroyed, physically. Floyd would not be there for Chavez Sr. to hit. Chavez Sr. is too slow, so Floyd would get him.
Didn't Roger Mayweather's Chavez Sr. said about Roger Mayweather, if you only knew how bad you had me hurt, if you'd hit me.
Roger Mayweather hit hard. Yeah. Roger Mayweather hit hard.
I mean, it's in the genes, y'all. It's in the genes. Floyd Mayweather. But they talking about having a fight. Chavez Sr. and Floyd Mayweather. They talking about actually having a fight.
Come on, niggas need to go sit down somewhere. That bullshit. Nobody want to see that. 2 70-year-old. Who want to see that? Who want to see that?
Chavez Sr. is 59. Floyd's still young enough to hurt him.
Man, nobody want to see them two old niggas in the ring.
Demetrius Bright said, "Tell them they are fighting either in May or September in Mexico." Come on,
I
Floyd. Why
won't be
would
watching
you?
it.
I really hope that that's not true. Cause Canelo, the one thing I love about this whole Canelo situation is that Floyd beat his ass easily and won. I think Laura beat him too. But Floyd beat him. And I don't think he can get past that or get over that. And whenever they bring up, you know, Canelo and try to put him on a pedestal 20, 30 years from now, but I'm be like them guys in the barbershop and Coming to America when he said, aha, but he beat Joe Lewis's ass. Ha. I want to be able to say, Floyd beat him. Ha. You
Joe
know what I'm
Lewis was
saying?
107 years old. Of course he beat
I
him.
know. Joe Lewis came into the barbershop, sat in the chair. He was 175 years old. I said, what's up, champ?
Yeah, he can't. They'll never. They make up excuses. You know, they say Canelo was too young. He wasn't ready. Canelo was 42 or 43 fights in. What you mean he wasn't ready?
Exactly. Like on
Yeah,
that
43 fights. So what are you talking about? He was ready.
Sound like
You signed a contract.
from
If you sign a
Tupac.
contract, you ready, right?
Right. When Tupac said, "What you mean you didn't know?" In that song, I get around. What you mean you didn't know?
Yeah, he knew. He was ready. He just thought he could beat Floyd and he couldn't.
I mean, he was an arrogant prick too.
Yeah, he thought he could beat
trying
Floyd.
to take a picture with him with the belt and all that. Just arrogant as hell.
Yeah,
but,
he thought he was the man.
But Shelton, what is your take on Jose Benevidez sucker fighting ass?
Oh, he got that gift draw, that gift decision. Yeah, he didn't look too good, but he ain't been in the ring in 3 years. So, what did you expect from Jose Benavidez?
I expected him to shut the fuck up at the press conference then.
But you know, he's still trying to live off that. He living off of that fight he had with Crawford. You know how he did real well. And he made it to the 12th round before he got up and cut it and slept.
Sometimes I think Crawford let people touch him up for whatever reason. Maybe he want to feel the shots. But you know, like I was looking at the Crawford and Eagles fight today, and I saw the knockdown. And yeah, I don't have a problem if people want to say he was knocked down, but I just find it amazing, you know, of all he ain't fought nobody, and he got knocked out for real, or he got knocked down, or I'd be like, wow, you know, Mean Machine is a tough fight. He's a tough fight for anybody. And he was throwing some combinations. That wasn't an easy win for Crawford, and it wouldn't be easy for nobody else.
Was it easy for Virgil when he got dropped in the second round? It wasn't easy for Virgil.
Exactly.
Right? But Virgil get credit for it. You know, but Crawford, Mean Machine wasn't nobody. Okay.
Exactly.
Like did you see Blood, Sweat, and Tears?
I haven't yet.
You got to check it out. Bud did an interview when the fight got announced, right?
Right.
With Fight Hype. Mm-hmm. And you can look it up. He said, yeah, I know. After I stop this guy, y'all gonna make up all kinds of excuses like y'all do for everybody. Y'all gonna say, he was telling the reporters, y'all gonna say he wants to be an announcer. He's not the same Sean. Errol took something out of him. He said, I know. After I stop him, you're gonna make excuses again, but it's okay. I'm gonna stop.
I believe that too. That's why, like, all week I'm gonna try not to put up anything about Crawford versus Porter until like Friday, maybe, and maybe I might spend 30 minutes grown woman talk, and about Crawford and Porter, and then go into grown woman talk. But yeah, you really can't say nothing. It's like you can't argue the point, because if you don't like Crawford, it's because you like somebody else. That's why you don't like him. And I'm sorry, most of the time is if you're a big fan of Earl's, which I consider myself to be, I just like Porter. I mean, I just like Crawford more. But
the thing
some
is,
people have a hard time doing both.
My grandmother told me this when I was a kid. She said, if somebody don't like you, there's nothing you can do to make them like you.
True that. True that.
So they don't like Bud, and that's fine. But he finna knock Porter out. That's gonna happen. And after he knocks
Big
Porter
time.
out, they're gonna make all kind of excuses and say all this stuff, just to big up their guy, which you don't have to. Your guy is injured right now. Let your guy heal up. Let your guy have a tune-up. Because if he comes out off of this injury and jumps right in the ring with a Crawford or a Ugas or any champion, he's gonna get beat. He needs a tune-up fight.
If they have
a tune-up fight.
Who are you talking about? Crawford?
I'm talking about Spence.
Spence. Oh yeah,
Spence comes off that injury and jumps right in the ring with any champion, he's gonna get beat.
I think he needs to wait. I was the one from the beginning, amongst many, who said he needs to wait for a full year to make sure. Because if you're a fighter and you get that lottery ticket, it's a lottery ticket with him too. You get that opportunity to fight him, you're going for the eyes. You can't tell me that Spence won't go on for Kell Brook eyes. You can't tell me that Bud won't go on for Kell Brook eyes. You going for them shits.
Look, Errol Spence is a good young champion. Great fighter. The only way he beats Crawford is if he ages Crawford out. If he ages Crawford out. The only way.
How old is Errol?
Errol's 31.
Oh, okay. And Crawford's 34.
Right. That's the only way he beats him. Because right now, for the next 2 years, maybe 2.5, anybody who fights Crawford is in trouble.
Exactamundo. And you best believe, Shelton, I don't know about you, but you best believe there's going to be hella comparisons between what Crawford do to Sean and what Earl did to Sean. And everybody gonna stick a mouth in a mic in Porter's face and say, who hit harder? Everybody gonna do it. Everybody gonna want to know the answer to that. And I'm gonna tell you, there's people who have answered that. I wish I would have wrote their name down so that I could remember. But I'm telling you, the people that I've heard, and I wasn't seeking certain ones out, just randomly on YouTube, ran across somebody who could speak to both of their power, and they was like, Bud got the highest power or the best power. They didn't say that Errol don't have no power. They just said his power is like a thudding power, like he just he hits you and then he can keep hitting you, which is a good thing. It's really it's almost better to have that type of power where you could thud a nigga, just keep hitting them consistently from 1 to 12, hitting them at that same power, than to have just straight knockout power.
Yeah, they said Spence got a cumulative power, Bud got that jolting, that knockout power. Kell Brooks said it best. He said, I've been in the ring with everybody. Nobody's ever hit me like that.
He did. King,
he was in the ring with Triple G.
I forgot about Kell Brooks.
He's in the ring with Triple G. He's in the ring with Errol. He's in the ring with Sean. He said, nobody has ever hit me like that.
I believe it. It was something. I've watched Bud mature, grow, everything in that ring. And it's amazing. It's like I look at him and say, what can't he do? And the nigga ain't even scared. Oh, yeah, we're going to bring that up. Demetrius bringing up Danny Garcia said Thurman hits harder than Spence. He did say that, too. I forgot about that. He did say that.
Well, we already know that Danny, that's a documented fact that Bud sent Danny a contract. They didn't even answer the phone. They didn't want no problem.
I didn't even know that, player. I didn't know that. Bud say he be reaching out, but people don't reach out. And this is what I question. Everybody who's mad at Bud, or when they get to complaining about Bud, if you're talking about his business acumens I don't get that part. You know,
This
like
is the
if you
best
mad
thing
at
to
him
do.
as a fighter, then you talking about where he chose to sign the dotted line for as a promoter or whoever. I don't get that anger.
Miss T,
It
can I
got
ask
to
you a
be
question?
something else.
Can I ask you a question, Miss T? Who
Sure.
gets the highest guarantee at 147 pounds?
I would say right now that's Bud. Guarantee. You say highest guarantee. Don't he
Yeah.
get like 4 million guaranteed no matter who he
He gets
fight?
4.5 no matter who he fights.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he gets an extra $1 million for every fight that is not Errol Spence.
Damn. An extra million for fighting
That's
anybody other than Errol.
Yeah, if you get me the Errol fight, you get to keep that extra $1 million. If it ain't Errol, you owe me $1 million.
Who owe you? What you mean? Okay, now I'm confused. He gets
Every fight
4.5 guarantee.
for anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
4.5.
Right.
If the fighter that I'm fighting is not Errol Spence,
Okay.
I get the 4.5 plus I get an extra $1 million because it's not Errol Spence. You said you was gonna get me Errol Spence, and you didn't.
Oh. Oh, so that's his little way of poking it to Bob Arum.
That's why he's leaving, and he's in the process now. He's gonna sue Top Rank for breach of contract because they promised him the Errol Spence fight, and they never got it for him.
They promised him the Pacquiao fight.
And they never got it.
And they got him looking crazy out in the streets like he avoiding people and shit. And Demetrius said Danny Garcia wants to move up to 154 and fight Jamel. Yeah, he said that. Danny, Danny's a smart fighter. He knows what he's doing. He sees something, but he ain't saying I see something. Please, Danny, don't say that. But he sees something. Else, I don't think Danny would say that. But I'm kind of on the fence with this one because I think Danny should stay at 147 and retry his luck.
Why? He can't beat nobody at 47. He ain't beat nobody yet.
If how he gonna beat somebody at 154? 154 is one of the worst, devastating division that want to step in. Like as far as all them dudes are beasts. Like I never seen a division that stacked with just people. Everybody in that mug is a beast.
That's what I'm saying, Miss P. How you gonna move up to 54 when you can't beat nobody at 47?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He should stay and retry. Because honestly, I don't think he gave a good throw to effort when he fought Errol Spence. I really don't think he did. I'm not saying he could have won that fight, but Danny wasn't Danny. Now, is that because Earl took that away? Maybe. But still, it don't negate from what I'm saying. Like, Danny really wasn't Danny. And a lot of it, a fear of Earl, or like, he was too nervous or preoccupied in the mind. Earl can make you have some real fear. It'd be some real healthy fear, but I don't think Danny gave a full throw to effort.
I don't think Danny was afraid. Danny just ain't that good.
Oh, nah. I think Danny is good. I think he the goods, but I don't think he's good big. I don't think him going up is the ticket. I think
Danny was good. Danny was a good fighter, Miss T, at 140.
He
at
was.
147,
I'm
gonna
I
be honest. At 147, he ain't shit. He ain't beat nobody.
He didn't
The
fought
welterweight
10
division.
people. He didn't fought
The
10
welterweight
people.
division takes turns whooping Danny Garcia's ass.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. He only got,
Thurman
3 fights?
Did Thurman
He just
whoop
got Thurman whipped him, and it was
Did
close.
Porter whoop him?
Yeah, Porter just whipped him before he fought
Did Spence
Earl.
whoop him?
Of course, Spence whipped him.
Then who did he beat?
He beat 7 other fighters.
Who? At 47. Who? Name them.
Let me see. Guerrero.
Come on. Guerrero fought Floyd 11 years ago.
Guerrero was the shit in his day.
He fought Floyd 11 years ago, Miss T. Come on now. Y'all do better than that.
But no. And Danny, it's not like Danny fought him 8 years ago. 8 years
him
after
in 2014 or 15.
But he fought
Long
him.
time ago.
You said who he fought. These were notable people. I can't remember everybody. Did he fight Berto?
No.
Um,
He beat Robert the Ghost Guerrero. He beat Brandon Rios. And
right.
he beat Adrian Granado.
Yeah.
That's who he beat.
Then no, Matisse was at 140.
So which one of them guys, Brandon Rios, Adrian Granados,
Why was
or
he
Robert
fighting?
Ghost Guerrero? Which one of them guys
Why
going to the
was
Hall
he
of Fame?
fighting Brandon Rios at 140?
Brandon Rios moved up to 47. He moved up to 47.
I ain't think.
So which one of them guys going to the Hall of Fame? Oh, he beat Lipinets
Guerrero.
too. Guerrero's not going to the Hall of Fame not unless he buy a ticket. Not unless he buy a ticket. If you buy a ticket, he can get in.
Stop it. He beat Red Cats. Red Cats didn't prove to be much.
Ivan Red Cat, the guy that quit against Regis, that same guy.
But here's the thing. Danny came up to 147 and he got a belt. I don't care who had the belt when he got it, and
that's
then
a fact.
he lost.
That is a fact.
So
but
in the end,
Danny wasn't shit, and the guy he fought wasn't shit.
But we can't shit on these fighters like
Danny
that, y'all.
wasn't shit. Danny still ain't shit. Danny ain't beat nobody. Danny ain't showing me nothing.
I can't agree.
And people gonna say Danny's a Hall of Fame fighter.
He said he never fought Lipinets. Hey, Danny is the shit, y'all.
Danny is garbage, Miss T. Danny needs to go back down to 40 or retire. Because if he goes up to 54, it's gonna be worse than it was at 47.
Look, Danny, it ain't what you want at 154. If you go up there, it's gonna be some furniture moving. Don't go up there. Don't you take your narrow self up there. And Jamel Charlo is biting at the bits like, yeah, bring your ass up here if you want to. And then you gotta think, Danny.
Jamel needs to be worried about Brian Castano.
That's what he needs to be trying to fight. And he needs to worry about Earl going up there because Earl is not gonna be like, oh, we friends, we can't fight. That's a beast right there. And Danny, if you go up there, Earl go up there, what you gonna do then?
Well, here's the thing, Miss T. We got to see what Earl comes back after that 2-year layoff. That's what we got to see.
Now you know that's kind of sacrilegious.
I'm praying for the best. I want him at his best. I'm praying that he heals fully. He's right. I want him at his best. So when Crawford beats him, there's no excuses.
Well, I don't want him coming back until at least the end of the summer.
Right. He for that injury that he got. I don't expect you to see him in the ring before late September or October of the year coming up. That's when he'll be back.
Because you know what? Secretly, like not even secretly, I've said this before. Y'all know my guy is Terrence Crawford. And in my opinion, he's gonna be undisputed at 147 before he move up. But Earl can also have that opportunity or chance to become undisputed. And I welcome that because I like him too. But I also want Earl to realize his dream at 154 because I think he can be awesome up there too. And this is why I say I want him to wait, and get properly healed. And not just because I don't want to hear no excuses, but somebody need to be in his ear. Injuries from the neck up do not heal fast. Fuck what the doctors say. And this is the only time I would be like, fuck what doctors say. Add 2-3 more months to whatever the fuck they say. Injuries from the neck up, they just don't heal fast. And I shudder to think that Earl will come back any earlier than the end of the summer. If he do, I'm gonna be like,
yeah, he don't need to do that because don't listen to the fans, don't listen to them people in your corner that want to get paid. Usually heal up, be right,
exactly,
because you only get they can replace a lot of things. They can't replace your sight.
Your sight can't, and it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You got beautiful kids. You want to see them grow up. You want to see your grandkids. It ain't worth it. And all you gotta do is go look at an interview that Jude Titan had a nice panel on his joint, and he had Corey Spinks on there. And listen to what Corey said about the eye, because they brought that up. This was a while back. This was probably in the middle of the summer or something when they had this interview. I don't know. It seemed like forever ago. Could have been in August. Go look at the interview and look at what Corey Spinks said about the eye when they brought that up. you know, and I haven't had surgery on my ear. So when I be thinking about Deontay Wilder, I'm saying this to him too. Anything from the neck up takes a longer time to heal. You know, I can say that till I'm blue in the face, but anybody who's ever had an injury, a serious injury in your body from like the neck up, you know what I'm talking about. It took me over a decade for my ear to heal. A decade. I couldn't touch it. Like I couldn't do this.
Just
I
look at the
couldn't,
guys. Just
you
look at the
know.
guys who had that injury. Sugar Ray Leonard took him 2
Mhm.
years. Abner
Mhm.
Mares took him 2 years.
And Abner still ain't back, is he?
He still ain't fought yet.
Now Abner, that's a good fighter, but he goes for the nuts too much for me to even get into him. And that's what I was saying in that Sean Porter Errol fight. Is it me? And then somebody tell me in the chat, call in. Cause I don't want y'all to think because I love Bud and I'm saying this about Earl. And I always gotta say this before I talk about Earl because people love this guy and I understand why. I like him too. That's my dude. But Earl, you be going for the nuts a lot of times, and y'all can say, Miss T, it's a fight. It's a fight. That's what men do. No,
No, no. What it
no.
was, I'm gonna tell you what it was. In Errol's defense, I'm gonna tell you what it was.
What?
Sean kept headbutting him.
Okay.
So to back Sean up off that headbutt, I'm gonna throw a couple on the belt line. Back your ass up. You headbutt me, I'm gonna hit you low.
What
You
happened
headbutt me
with
again,
Cruz
I'm gonna hit you
Campo?
low. Huh?
What happened with Cruz? I said Cruz Campo. That's actually a liquor, like a beer in Spain. God, where my mind at? Oh, Campo. Remember him?
Yeah, Ocampo was just a bum. He should never even been in the ring with Errol.
Earl hit him low a couple of times.
Well, he was gonna knock
Saw
him out.
that.
He knocked him out in the first round. So
I
Ocampo
don't think
was
it was the first round. I think it was the second. Wasn't it
first,
second?
second. Nah, that dude shouldn't even been in the ring with Errol. How
But
did he become a mandatory anyway? That dude was trash.
I mean, he was a mandatory. I didn't care. I knew Earl was gonna wash his ass. But
Yeah,
when
he was
Earl hit him
terrible.
low, I was like, Earl. And
That's his
he
last
did it more
knockout
than
too.
once.
And that's
And
his
so
last knockout. Was
yeah,
Ocampo.
and I was and I was like, so I've been watching, like when I watch an Earl fight, I try to see if that's what he gonna go for. And I hope and be praying that he do not go for low blows.
But I don't think Errol's a dirty fighter. I think with Sean is gonna muck it up.
You froze, so when you come back, you can reiterate. But I think he gonna say when you fighting Sean, sometimes you gotta get this motherfucking linebacker off you.
There you go.
You
That's
got
how boxing goes.
you gotta
The
get Lynn
motherfucker gonna
Swan
headbutt
off
you,
you.
hit him low, back him up. Hit him low. You headbutt me, I'm gonna hit you low.
And he do. Sean,
We
you do
go
good
this way
man
we
with
gonna
your
fight,
head.
this is the way we gonna fight. And if you notice in that fight, Sean stopped headbutt.
Yeah, well, hey, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Demetrius Bryce and Miss T hating on Earl, maybe those headbutts. Also, Tyson bit Holyfield for those intentional headbutts. Well, you know, that's why I asked the question. I saw the low blows. I'm not a fan of people doing that in the fight at all. I'm not a fan, and I saw Earl do it a lot of times. Sean, I already told y'all, you know, the reason why I'm not like a big Sean Porter fan because I don't think he really boxed. I think he played football. I'm here to look at boxing. So don't when y'all head crack the quarterback, ain't that what y'all used to say? Don't y'all run in with your head and shit. L Dub in a building was popping king. So I wasn't. I know that Sean runs in on you, and I don't like that because that's not boxing. But and that he said I'm hating on Earl. I was like, no, Earl hit below, but y'all the ones who, because I don't have a wee wee, okay. So I have to take y'all word for it that it's not a good thing to be hit down there, right?
No,
And
it's
some of
not.
y'all say, oh well, you know, the adrenaline be pumping, it don't hurt as bad as if you just relax and whatever. See,
Oh
I
no,
don't
it hurt.
remember.
No, that shit hurt.
No, somebody
That's
has
why you
said
saw
that.
Sean back up and stop using his head. Because every time he headbutt Earl hit him on the belt line. Back him up.
And that would make sense. because I don't agree with headbutt neither. There's some fighters I don't like specifically because that's all they did. And I was gonna talk about that card that the Zone had on this weekend. We know David Benevidez is good. I think Canelo need to go ahead and fight him and stop being a PUSSY. Stop being a tutu. Stop being a pocketbook.
Well, if you
Go
listen to
ahead and fight.
Canelo and the way he moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you who he gonna fight in May.
Who we gonna fight?
Charlo.
So you think he got a chance with Charlo? Charlo can hurt you with a jab.
Huh?
Charlo can hurt you with a jab.
Charlo can't beat Canelo. There's no version of Charlo that beats Canelo.
I think Charlo is more of a complete fighter than Canelo.
No.
Canelo might have the scissor.
In the Montiel. I saw that in the Montiel fight. If
But
you couldn't
Canelo-
get rid of Montiel,
Mhm.
Canelo's gonna smoke you.
I think
He
that
gonna knock him
Charlo
out.
would turn it up. I think the Charlos was
That's the
leaning
problem.
back
Is, T,
and
you
chilling.
can't fight once a year and go into a fight with Canelo. You're gonna get beat.
Demetrius said Errol be hitting low mistakenly at times because he's the body snatcher. I don't know. I thought y'all said that was. I'm just look. Getting low blows don't bother me because like I said, y'all as men be saying, hey, and so I'm just going by how y'all feel about it because most of y'all be like, hey, that ain't cool. That ain't cool.
Well, you know me, Miss T. I'm a boxing fan first. I love boxing more than I love any fighter.
Right.
I love Charlo as a fighter, but skill for skill, he not beating Canelo. Canelo gonna knock him out because he don't fight enough. He's too inactive. You can't fight Canelo if you inactive.
Well, that's it. Well, we coming into a new year, y'all, and you hear Shelton saying it. You done heard Coach D said it. You done heard Fred Harthorne said it on the barbershop conversation. You done heard Kyle say it in the boxing section. Inactivity is something about how to go. Inactivity is defeated or always defeated.
It's undefeated.
It's
Inactivity
undefeated.
is undefeated. It's undefeated. Yeah, he gonna beat you.
He gonna beat y'all. So into the wise should be sufficient.
Start fighting more, fellas. Fight each other.
Exactly. I don't care who it is. Get your feet wet. If it was an easy fight, run it back 3 weeks later to something else. A month later, get your pretty boy on. Pretty boy Floyd, that is, because that's what Floyd did in the first couple of years. Go back and look at them dates, and you'll be like, wow.
He fought everybody.
For all the time. Weeks apart. That's how you do it.
Stay sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So
there was a fight. I don't know if y'all watched it. The guy named is William Zepeda versus John Moralde. Now, see, I already don't like Moralde. You know why? Because he throws his head. He was throwing his head the whole time, but he could not beat Zepeda. Zepeda is an awesome fighter. I don't even know what weight class, but I want to see some more.
I think he fights at 40, don't he?
He could be. I know he's
40?
not like 122 or nothing. I know they're not that little.
I gotta look up Zepeda. But I heard he put on a masterful performance. I heard he got that dude out of there.
Shit, dude, it was one of the best fights I ever seen. And I'm not thinking that Zapata, I'm not thinking his name, is like recognizable. I'm not thinking the Zone gonna put on shit like that. Shit. I was glad I had the Zone. Zepeda did an excellent job. He put on a show, let me tell y'all. I thought it was beautiful. The dude, he outclassed them in so many ways. It wasn't even funny, but the dude threw his head around a lot. And I can't rock with him. You're gonna be headbutting this shit. And see, that's why I feel about Sean. When I say Sean played football, I think of back when in the 70s when y'all used to like bend way down and y'all try to head crack. My brothers and them be like, head crack the quarterback, like they live for the bend down low, come in and come up with their head.
That's what Sean does. He's a rough, tough fighter. He want to make you uncomfortable. He want to do things to get you off the square. Make you uncomfortable.
And Bud, keep your mouth closed when you fight Sean.
Well,
You fuck
Bud got
around
a
and bite your
74
tongue
inch
off.
reach.
Huh?
Bud got a 74-inch reach, and he's a master of distance and a master of timing. So
You
Sean
know
is not
about
going to present any problems for Crawford. Crawford going to knock him out inside of 9 rounds. I
pretty
guarantee
much.
that. Inside of 9.
You know Demetrius Ballard. He fight with Barry Hunter. He
Yeah.
was fighting somebody named Venezuela. That guy also tried to use dirty tactics. Venezuela. He tried to use his head. He tried to hit him on top of the head. But Ballard won, and I agree that he won. But that was too close for comfort.
Demetrius
That was
Ballard, yeah, that was a
that
tough
was
fight.
too close for comfort. Barry was over there talking shit and swallowing spit. Like, get this motherfucker out here. You know what the hell are you doing? I called it for Ballard, but it was too close for comfort. You know, they building him up like to be something, and to lose to this guy. And the guy told him he gonna wreck his plans. I'm like, that sounds like an act of war to me. Demetrius Bright said, Miss T, ask Shelton his opinion on Baumgartner. What does he think about Kiko stopping Kid Galahad?
Well, Galahad, uh, I think he overlooked Kiko because Kiko's 35. Kiko been around forever and fought everybody. And he went in there thinking he's just going to watch this old dude. And that dude caught him with them 2 overhand rights because Galahad likes to switch. And the kryptonite for a left-handed fighter is overhand right. So when he switched, Kiko saw it, hit him with that overhand right in the 5th. He never recovered. And in the 6th, he walked out there and got caught with another right, and the fight was over. knocked Galahad ass out. This was on the zone.
This was on the zone, okay.
Yeah, it was an early fight. And the girl, Baumgartner, Miss T, the girl Baumgartner, the bomb. Alicia, the bomb Baumgartner.
I gotta go check that fight out. I didn't catch it.
I've never seen anyone knocked out standing up. She knocked that girl out standing up. She was asleep. And she hit her with the left and woke her up. But by that time, the ref stepped in and stopped her. Yeah,
That's
she
crazy.
stoned her ass. She stoned her ass.
Can you go to sleep standing up? I'm gonna say yes, not just because of that fight, because I haven't seen it. But people, you can actually go to sleep standing up. You got to try it one day. But it is dangerous. Please have some pillows or something in front of you and then behind you. But you can go to, if push to shove, a human can go to sleep standing up. Honest to God.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her and Michaela Mayer. I want to see that fight.
I heard the ref saved the Harper chick that was fighting Baumgartner.
She was about to get killed. She was about to get killed. Baumgartner had already knocked her out. She was about to get killed.
Now, is Baumgartner from UK? Is she from the UK or
No,
she American?
she's from the States. She's from the States.
Okay, Harper, she's from the UK?
Yeah, Harper's from the UK.
Okay. So of
Harper
course
was
I'll be going for the American team every time.
Yeah, Harper was the champ.
Oh, was she? Oh shit.
She was the champ. Yeah, she got knocked out.
Oh damn. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go check that fight out. I know Clarissa got a fight coming up. We gotta make sure we support that. Andrade, his fight is this weekend too. It's on the 19th, so that's Friday.
I like the fact that Clarissa been quiet lately. I like that.
Me too. I mean, yeah, I like it to a certain extent. I mean, she's learning. I think she out there listening and learning, and she's doing well for herself. So shout outs to Clarissa. She has the best record ever. You put men and women together and just talk about the record. She has the best ever. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody who did it like her, and I doubt it'll ever happen.
Yeah, she just gotta keep herself together. She ain't gotta make those weirdo, outlandish statements to get attention. Her skills do it enough. Just be yourself.
What you basically saying there, King, is know your audience. That's what you saying. And know how to give them something they can receive. Demetrius Bright said Baumgartner trained by Tony Harrison. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Cool. That's cool.
I like Tony Harrison as a fighter. Now, when I first kind of was introduced to him, because I'm late to some of these fighters. Um, Tony Harrison, I thought I cursed a lot, but the way he would curse would make me cringe. Like some of the shit that he would say, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know if I can be around this dude." And it was. I'm glad I never spoke on it or never felt too detrimental about it, because I see where he's a good man. That's a good man, and he's a giving person, and he just has a potty mouth. That's it. Sometimes, but he's a good dude. So, um, so in this sense, Shelton is saying the same thing about I'm gonna mute you, Shelton. In the sense, Shelton is saying the same thing about Clarissa. He's just worried about certain things she say that people can receive the wrong way, and this, that, and the other, and it doesn't help her with her brand. The same way that I was kind of recoiled or something when I heard Tony Harrison talking his trash with Charlo. Now I see, he probably felt he had to, you know what I'm saying? But I was recoiled at it. But I was like, men talk, they talk like they talk, And I'm glad I stuck around and just waited it out, because I was recoiled at first. So I guess that's what Shelton is saying when it comes to Clarissa. Just, be mindful of the things you say and where you say it. And the audience, you say it in front
I
of
was
them.
taking care of the dogs. But yeah, if you want to make money and get sponsorships and be on that stage, you can't make crazy statements like I could knock out Triple G and I could beat Keith Thurman.
She said that.
Come on, man.
She said
That's
that.
outlandish stuff. You can't say stuff like that, because now nobody takes you seriously.
Well, we know how that worked for Ronda Rousey. Like when she was saying that about
she said
Floyd.
that dumb shit about Floyd. And you know what? The most beautiful thing about that was Floyd did the best thing you could do. He didn't even respond to that garbage.
When he threw a shot now. He threw a shot, because I don't care. I don't care what Floyd say. If somebody say, "What do you think about Ronda Rousey?" It was funny because Floyd did not bother her; she bothered him.
What did he
So
say?
he said, "I don't know him."
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know him. What the fuck is that?
He said, "I don't know him." I'm like, Floyd. Now you know damn well in what world is Rhonda not a girl name? I don't know him.
Well,
It's the way he said, "I don't know him."
Yeah,
I
because
was
he
like,
didn't pay her no
Floyd.
attention. Because that was
Oh
some
my
dumbass shit she
God.
said. I could beat Floyd Mayweather. Man, get your ass out of here. You can't beat Floyd.
I
I
had
want to knock you out.
dude, that was the
But then
best
if Floyd
laugh.
put tips on her, then they gonna say he a woman beater and all this old dumb shit. So
I'm sure
that's
Floyd
why.
wanted to smack the hell out of her, but he probably was like, "It's better for me just to ignore it," and he did.
Exactly. That's just why, like she said she could beat Jake Paul and all this other kind of stuff. Man, you can't. Come on, man. He's too big. You can't.
But you know what? It could be good press. All press is good press. And she could have been just saying stuff just to get people to talking. Sometimes you never know. Because y'all be saying all the time that Jake Paul isn't a real fighter. I mean, I know what y'all saying. He's a man.
But
So,
he's the man. She's not going to beat him.
True.
She can't hurt him.
But she didn't say that. She said, what she said? She said, I'll
tie one hand behind my back and beat him with my jab. No, you won't.
Okay.
No, you won't. He'll knock you out.
Demetria said she needs to focus on her fight in December. She has a lot to lose and gain. Savannah is a near-term goal after that fight.
Facts.
Yeah, ain't great.
She just signed a big deal with that UK company, Sky Sports, too, so she needs to focus on that.
Yeah, we all pulling for you, Queen. We all pulling for you. But just, stay stay on target. What do they say? Stay on target or just stay focused on whatever's gonna benefit you and lift you up to higher levels. Because we here to support you. Gardner, congratulations to your opponent for y'all putting on a good show
Yes,
and getting
ma'am.
the win and everything. And so I'm gonna check y'all out because I did not see y'all fight, but I'm actually when I get off tonight, I probably watch a couple of fights. But I've been telling people that I can't hang no more. I can't do it because my whole day the next day be gone. And I have a lot of things to do. We coming up on Christmas. I like to be productive. I do not like to sleep during the daytime. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
take
I
it to
got to step,
bed.
Miss T. I got to hit
Mhm.
it to the stove, but it's always great to speak with you.
Most
I'll
definitely.
catch you on your next one. You
Okay.
have a great night, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Hey, show up before the fight this weekend.
Oh, I'll be here.
Hope,
I'll be there. I'll
hopefully
be
I
there
can
right
get
there
you
with you.
and Coach T on at the same time.
I'll be right there with you, Queen.
All right. All
All
right,
right, baby.
King. Thank you. So yeah, you guys uh yeah, a lot happened this past weekend. There was some good fights. Now, the zone, you guys shocked me. I gotta say, you guys shocked me because I enjoyed those cards. They were fighting. When I say I'm a fan of boxing, I'm a fan of the scrap. Get it going, get it popping, throw your hands. I'm still thinking about that damn fight that Kyle called between Chocolatito and Navarrete. I'm still thinking about that fight. I want to see that fight so goddamn bad. But in due time, the boxing guys gonna shine and load that thing up on YouTube because I do be checking. But it makes me say stuff like Chocolatito and Estrada. I'm dying to see that. Cause it's the fight. Ballard put on a good fight. He got challenged. Um the guy, had some dirty tactics. Not enough for me to say, oh man, he cheated. I know the dirty tactics go on in the fight. And I know that sometimes, we at social media, we can say on our platform things that might hurt people's feelings as far as like if you talk about somebody other fighter. Trust me, dudes, when I tell y'all, I try to be as fair as I can. As fair as I can. And I can love a fighter and love and like his potential opponents. This is how I describe my love for Bud as I'm like an ultimate Bud fan. I'm picking Bud regardless, you know what I'm saying? On everything. But I'm also an Earl fan. I'm also a Boots fan. I'm also a Keith Thurman fan. Now, somebody might say, Miss T, won't you make up your damn mind? It's not about making up your mind. These guys have put on great performances. This is why I'm endeared to them. It's real easy with me. I say stuff like, stop making excuses after the fight. You know, don't be halfway pussyfooting around like Jose. You talked a lot of crap. I found it weird at your timing. If you could come back and say I was trying to sell the fight, your timing was way off, way off. You waited till the final press conference to get like that. I didn't understand where your anger was coming from, and the guy was looking at you like you crazy, like he didn't understand neither. Then you get in the fight and you didn't do shit, and then at the end of the fight you say he ran from you. That shit we cannot tolerate no more. When they say that shit, nail that ass to the cross. Make them ashamed of ever uttering those words. What you call running, we call ring generalship and lateral movement, which you supposed to have in your arsenal. And if you don't, shame on you. If he running, cut the ring off. But if you can't do it, how is it his fault that you keep letting him circle around you? But he's running towards you because he's looking straight at you. You decide to be a punching bag and not throw enough punches. I'm not doubting your acumen as a good boxer. You might have ring rust. It's been a long time since you fought. You didn't throw. You definitely can go back and look at the tape and see where you went wrong. You didn't throw enough punches. But don't say that about your opponent. And see, just so y'all know, Jose Benevidez and David Benevidez said they're Mexican too. The guy that he was fighting, Jose was fighting, was Argentinian, right? That means he was Latino, I'm sorry. So it's not a race thing when I say that a lot of Mexicans pretty much say that shit. We have to excommunicate that word out the boxing lingo. Oh, he was running. He was not running. He didn't look like Flojo in there, Jackie Joe and Kersey, and all these new runners of today. See, I'm dating myself. He didn't look like none of them. He was facing you and he was boxing. He was doing the fundamentals, and we cannot allow you to diminish stuff like doing fundamentals down to he was running. You did not fight good. You sucked and you lost. And that's all to it. So take your loss like a champ, like an ex-champ that you were, and the champ that you could be going forward. Take your loss like a man and don't make excuses, because that is clearly, to me, making excuses. The man beat you fair and square. You was lucky you got a gift. He know it. The world know it. So don't diminish what he did by saying he ran. He did not run. You don't know how to do your fundamentals. So as far as David, I think Chiron has shown Canelo some things. I don't know if it's going to matter, because I like David's answer in the end. I was ready to go all night. I could have went all night, and I will break you. I was like, wow, okay. I like his answer in the end. But when Chiron was fighting him, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Chiron. The heart of this man, the determination of this man. Can't do nothing but like him. And so that was a good scrap. Munguia and Gabe Rosado, it's always a good fight when Gabe is fighting, in my opinion. He don't always get the win or the nod, but it's a good fight. And I would say, keep going, Gabe. Keep going till you just really feel like you don't want to do it no more. But you are entertaining, and it's always a good fight. Sometimes it be like that, Munguia, I ain't got no problems with you. Just, I ain't a big fan, but I ain't, no problem with you. To the other fights that was on the card, when you talk about Zepeda, I will be following you with interest. I will be following you with interest. Maralade, Maralde, dude, you use your head too much for me. I would not be following you with interest. You was trying, though. When all else fails, go with the head. And I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. Venezuela versus Ballard. Thank God you pull out the win, King. Talking about Ballard. Shout out to him and Barry Hunter. But Venezuela, you tried it too. The dirty tactics. See, with the head, again, that's one of them things. You don't know what can come from y'all headbutting people. And you shouldn't do it. But you do. And I know it's part of the fight game, but it don't mean I gotta like it. So I can't give you credit and build you up like you something when you use your head, and last time I checked, you're not supposed to. Demetri says she need okay, we already read that. So anybody got anything to add to it? I'ma try not to talk about Bud that much, because I'm waiting for Coach G to get up in here, and then we're gonna have Shelton up in here. Hopefully we get him on the same day, and we're gonna really exploit this thing. But come Sunday, Sunday, I'm not even gonna say nothing. Y'all can see me again Monday after the fight. I hate to say it, but I will rub it in. Now, if Bud gets beat, I'll take the rubbing in. Y'all have freedom reign through the whole show to rub it in. Bud, don't let him do me like this, though. But yeah, I'll sit back and let y'all get off. Y'all can get off, get your shots off. Will Bud losing change how I feel about him? He's still my top dog. Period. Period. Whatever endeared me to him, that has already been done. And so I will always have that love for Bud as a fan. I just will always, and we know he's a future Hall of Famer. It's not what we think, we know. So come Monday, either I'm rubbing some shit in and I'm putting alcohol on my hands. When I'm rubbing it in with alcohol. But y'all can rub it in too. I'll sit here and take in that y'all one by one tell me how flawed I was and how wrong I was, and I'm gonna take it with a smile. So it's just a fight game. I want to see the best fight the best. That's it. And I don't want to see the ducking. I don't want, and not even for my favorite fighter. So, this is a good week. This almost feel like the week leading up to Wilder fight before I went to Vegas. So I'm like, I can't wait. So Saturday, we're gonna have Grown Woman Talk on Friday, and we're gonna have my wellness show on Sunday as usual. But Saturday. Anyway, any callers? Last call for alcohol. Let me see. Phone lines open. If anybody want to call in, anybody want to chime in, y'all saw the link up in there. I know the link is up in there that y'all can reach. I looked at that thing about Mary Jane, not Rick James. His documentary was on cable this week. I watched that. It took me back. I've been playing Mary Jane Girls, Prince, Rick James. I've been playing all that shit in the car because I looked at that documentary. I just can't help it. I was a Rick James fan. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, no calls. Y'all know I'm not gonna wait. Thank y'all for joining in. Remember, when you know better, you do what? You do better. And until I see y'all tomorrow, peace.